was a moment where a couple months ago, my mom came into my room and said, the Holy Spirit just dropped it into my heart that you are not on the right path. I can't put my finger on it. You're too old now. He's 18 at that point, about to head out the door, for me to go through your phone. But at this point, I feel like, Hayden, what I want to tell you is that your father and I have done everything we can to offer you this foundation of faith. And now it is up to you to decide whether you want to pursue the abundant life in Christ or not. But as you well know, when you make poor choices, there's fallout. And some choices bring a great deal of pain and heartache and fallout. But when we walk closely with Christ, then, we experience the yield, the spirit-filled life, the bounty that comes from a life lived, walking closely with him. And so I put the ball in his court, and I said, you don't need to confess anything to me. That's not my place. You confess it to God, right? And so instead of doing a kind of, you need to get your act together, I think you're going out with the wrong people. You're hanging out with the wrong kiddos. You're gone on the weekends. I'm not really sure if you're drinking, again, or what it is that you're doing. Instead of lapsing into any of that, I pulled it more back to, and then I asked him a really hard question. I said, Hayden, do you feel at peace with the Lord, with where you are right now in your life? And if that answer is no, then I would encourage you with a godly sorrow that leads to repentance, that you go before the Lord and you ask him to help you start anew.
Let me ask you this now that your kids are all in their late 20s now. I'm assuming you've talked very transparently, which is helpful for all of us. I'm assuming you have their permission to do this.
I do.
And then the follow-up question of that is, you had that discussion at 18 with your rebellious child.
Right.
Would you have had that in hindsight? Would you have wanted to do that at 13 or 14?
Yes.
To put some of that responsibility or more of that responsibility on him?
Absolutely.
Why do we hesitate in that regard? We try to continue to mother and father. I mean, I'm right there with 14 and 12-year-olds, and my inclination is to give them more of that responsibility now, to have that chat with them now, to say, hey, we're doing the best we can do, but you own this. You're big enough to own this now. You're mature enough to own this. Is it wise to do it as early as you can?
Yes, I believe if I could go back, and we did actually have a couple times prior to that, right around when he was probably 15, 16, and we were beginning to discover he was leading a double life, if you will.
Yeah.
We did. We would sit him down and say, Hayden, rather than us dole out the punishment, which was always my tendency, and I always overgrounded. I don't know. Every family has a parent that overgrounds, and then you're
you're grounded for 6 months.
Great,
kind of thing?
Yes. Now I'm stuck taking you to school.
Yeah, right. Gene always says that to me. I overstate what I'm going to do.
Right. Same
you
here.
are never eating for another year.
And you're never leaving the house, and then you're stuck with them all the time.
Gene will always gently say to me, "Could you make the consequence a little more reasonable?"
Right. That was actually my husband who would nudge me and go, "Don't do the overgrounding thing,"
Yeah.
But I would lean more toward that. Here's the punishment, and you need to get your act together and clean it up and all of that. And then right around 15, 16, I realized with this child that was not effective.
Let me ask you this, though. When you talk about your own experience, again, where you made some poor choices as a 17-year-old girl, at what age should you have that vulnerability with your child? There's age-appropriate vulnerability. And so you would speak differently with your 9-year-old daughter about that than you would your 15-year-old daughter.
Absolutely.
Talk about the wisdom of how to talk about your own experiences as a woman when you were a teenager with your teenage daughter.
Yeah, for me, in certain painful parts of my past, I just prayed and asked God to show me clearly when the right time would be to share with my children some of the mistakes that I made. But I caution moms, when I talk about this on the road and when I've written about it as well, we never, ever dump things on our children from a place of, we're not even walking in victory, to where we're looking to our child, in a sense, to come along and support us or console us. And so we make sure we're walking in victory from whatever that is. And we speak with a confidence over God's grace and mercy that was extended to us. And so for me, like take the abortion, for example, I did share with each of my 3 children at 3 different ages. I can't remember exactly what ages they were, but they were all probably 14 or older.
So it's appropriate for them.
Right.
And
And it had come up
maturity level.
naturally in conversation. So, yeah, it's just being very attentive to the Holy Spirit's direction in that and when the time is right.
Vicki Courtney, we have talked about many good things today, that life isn't perfect. God meets us in our messiness, which is the title of your book, Move On, When Mercy Meets Your Mess. We've talked about how to make your home a safe place, a place of reality, not pretend.
Right.
And I think that's one of the core things, John. It's hard to do because we want our children to see a good life,
The following is a sports presentation of the Lifeline, 90.9 FM WNZR. Mount Vernon Nazarene University basketball on WNZR is brought to you in part by
Cosby Heating and Cooling, Fredericktown Chevrolet, Blue Ball Body and Frame,
CES Credit Union, Ohio Rental,
Valley ATV,
Home Instead Senior Care,
T.R. Smith Hardware,
Mohican Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation, Knox Community Hospital,
and Wendy's. Now, let's join the WNZR broadcast team for the pregame show on the voice of the Cougars, 90.9 FM WNZR.
Good evening and welcome into Ariel Arena. It is senior day here for the Cougars as they get ready to take on the Grace College Lancers. I spoke earlier with Cougars head coach Jared Renee about his team's matchup this evening. I'm Drew Schulter here with Cougars head coach Jared Renee. And coach, you've got a tough matchup tonight. The Grace College Lancers coming to town. What do you expect to see from the Lancers here this evening?
Well, Grace is one of the best defensive teams in the country. They're extremely big, extremely physical. They're playing some of their best basketball of the season right now, and we expect a tremendous challenge on our hands tonight.
All right, your Cougars also had a great game earlier this week on Saturday, upsetting the number 8 team in the country in the Bethel College Pilots. How do you carry some of that momentum from last week's game into tonight?
Well, that's a huge program win for us to beat a top 10 team in the country. And now, obviously that was last Saturday, and tonight we have another top 20 team in the country in Grace. And we just got to continue to be confident in what we do on both ends of the floor, but got to continue to really, really guard the way we guarded on Saturday.
All right, Coach. You've got 3 seniors playing their last home game here tonight. What can you say about Trey, Martell, and Brian?
I can say so much about all 3. They have been the 3 seniors that have set the foundation of this program moving forward. They have done such a great job from day one of really buying into what we're trying to do and the culture that we're trying to build. And they've just done just such a tremendous job every single day of leading this team, leading by example, and growing on and off the basketball floor. And I'm so proud of all 3 of them today.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you very much, and we'll see you later.
All right. Thank you.
Once again, that was MVNU head basketball coach Jared Renee. His team getting ready to take on the 22nd ranked Lancers when we come back here on 90.9 FM WNZR.
WNZR thanks Wendy's of Mount Vernon for their partnership in this broadcast of Cougar Sports.
Wendy's has 2 locations in Mount Vernon, Coshocton Road and South Main Street. Wendy's menu features 10 different combos, including chicken and wraps, burgers, and garden sensation salads. Wendy's combo sides include fries, baked potatoes, chili, and salads.
Thanks to Wendy's of Mount Vernon for their support of the Cougars on 90.9 FM WNZR.
WNZR thanks Blue Ball Body and Frame for their partnership in this broadcast of Cougar Sports. Blue Ball Body and Frame is located at 48 West Parrott Street in Mount Vernon. Blue Ball's services include radiator repairs and service on semis and motorhomes. They also have a hydraulic shop that works on hydraulic hose and fitting needs. Their phone number is 397-26.
And welcome back to Ariel Arena as we head down to the floor. The Cougars are now honoring 5 seniors, Josh Gonzalez, Grant Harder, who are managers, and then the 3 players, Trey Vaughn, Martel Medley, and Brian Reddick, who will be playing in tonight's game.
Our next senior to be recognized tonight is Grant Harder. Harder is a native of Paulding, Ohio, and is majoring in children's ministry. He is being accompanied by his parents, Brian and Melissa Harder. Future plans include becoming a children's youth pastor and whatever God leads him to do. He also hopes to coach basketball someday. Ladies and gentlemen, Grant Harder. Next up is senior Martell Medley. Medley is from Euclid, Ohio, and is majoring in sports management with a minor in business. He is being accompanied tonight by Mickey Stovall. In 2013-14, Medley was named the Crossroads League Honorable Mention, Crossroads League All-Newcomer Team, NCCAA East Region First Team, NCCAA Honorable Mention All-American. His future plans include getting a master's degree and becoming a college men's basketball coach. Ladies and gentlemen, Martell Medley. Our next senior tonight is Brian Reddick. Reddick is from Columbus, Ohio, and is majoring in accounting and business technology. He is being accompanied tonight by his parents, Anthony and Nicole Reddick. Reddick was recently named to the COSIDA Capital One Academic All-District First Team. He is a member of the Delta Mu Delta Business National Honor Society, Delta Alpha Chi National Honor Society, and who's who among students in American universities. Future plans include working for Plante Moran, a public accounting firm in downtown Columbus, and he is currently working on his CPA exam. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Reddick. And our final senior to be honored tonight is Trey Vaughn. Vaughn is a native of Uniontown, Ohio, and is majoring in business. He is being accompanied tonight by Aaron Myers and Jeff Vaughn. Vaughn has played in 24 games this season, is averaging 5.1 points per game. He has scored in double figures 5 times and has a season-high 19 points against Indiana University South Bend. Future plans include finishing his degree and pursuing a career in coaching. Ladies and gentlemen, Trey Vaughn. Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for our 2014-15 senior men's basketball players.
Once again, the 3 seniors being honored here tonight: Brian Reddick, Trey Vaughn, Martell Medley, Grant Harder, and Josh Gonzalez, all of whom have contributed so much to this program. We'll take another quick break, and we'll be right back with the rest of the pregame show and then the opening tip of Cougar basketball here on 90.9 FM, WNZR.
WNZR thanks CES Credit Union for their partnership in this broadcast of Cougar Sports. CES Credit Union is a not-for-profit cooperative serving Knox, Licking, and Delaware counties with a full range of personal financial services. They have offices in Mount Vernon, Delaware, Utica, and Loudonville. CES Credit Union has member services that include savings, checking, and loans. Their phone number is 397-1136, and their website is cescu.com. CES Credit Union, member NCUA, equal opportunity lender.
WNZR thanks Cosby Heating and Cooling for supporting our coverage of Cougar sports. Cosby Heating and Cooling offers installation and service for heating and cooling needs, including residential, commercial, and industrial. Cosby is located at 10 College Street in Mount Vernon, just off Route 3. Cosby Heating and Cooling, 393-4328. That's 393-HEAT. Cosby Heating and Cooling, Ohio license ID number 21057. WNZR thanks Paul and Barb Eddy for supporting the Cougars on 90.9 FM WNZR.
And welcome back to Ariel Arena. The Cougars getting ready to take on the Lancers of Grace College here for senior night. I'm Drew Schulter, joined by Josh Sturm up here in the booth. And Josh, getting ready for tonight, we talked about the 3 seniors that are playing in this game this evening, Trayvon, Marcel Medley, and Brian Reddick, how much they've meant to this program. We just had the very, very nice senior program just a few moments ago, but it's a lot more than that tonight, as there's a lot at stake for the Cougars as they're fighting for position in the Crossroads League heading into the tournament.
Yeah, it's something that they're really going to fight for here, as they can go anywhere from up to a 5th seed down to a 7th seed here, which is a big difference in who you're playing and who you're going to be going up against. They will have to go up against either a Bethel team that they actually just defeated here recently, but that is a team that you definitely don't want to see again. They were 8th in the country for a reason. It was called an upset for a reason. So it's all about kind of positioning yourself here in the tournament to see what team you get to play against.
Another team they might potentially play would be this Grace squad that they face here tonight. Grace currently sitting in that 4 spot. They're ranked 22nd in the country, also for a reason. Stifling defense when you talk about this Grace team. That's one of the first things that come to mind, as well as a very efficient offense. They play a very structured set, and they love to smother the basketball, Josh.
Yeah, they're a great team for sure, and it's crazy looking at this tournament how many, again, this team just played Bethel, playing Grace tonight, and you can see them playing again just next week. And those spots, besides the 1 spot with Indiana Wesleyan, the 2, 3, 4 spots are all fluctuating. It's all very close. Everything could change in these last few days here. So really tonight's game, a big deal for both of these teams trying to get seeding going into the tournament.
So everyone in the tournament playing with a lot on the line. And looking at the last time these 2 teams played, Grace got the better of Mount Vernon. It was a pretty close game in the first half, and then Grace ended up pulling away. They won by 16, a pretty low-scoring affair, 69-53. MVNU's offense has been a little bit better since then, especially what we saw on Saturday from this squad. A very efficient offense, shooting above 50% for that entire game against Bethel, and also holding Bethel to below 40%, something that not a lot of teams have been able to do this season. But Grace coming in here tonight, they're looking to, again, advance in the Crossroads League tournament, but the Cougars have a lot at stake. I think that playing on senior night is one of the trickiest things, because you're running on an emotional high, but you can't let that get out of control, and you still want to play with a lot of composure.
Yeah, and you can see it early in the game. It's either going to fuel them, or you might have a little more jitters than you're used to. You might see a few shots going a little bit long, as those jitters might take over some of these seniors here tonight. But like you were saying, before that first meeting with Grace, the Cougars really been playing a lot better here recently. They had troubles of taking care of the ball in that game. That's something that the Cougars, they excel at when they are forcing turnovers, not committing any themselves. It's when they really start to play well, and they can really build off of that going on into this game. They've been really doing well towards the end of the season here. They're playing some of their best basketball.
And it's a good time to be playing their best basketball. Again, conference tournament starting just next week. They'll have their last game of the season on the road at Spring Arbor this Saturday. That game will be on 90.9 FM. You can catch it. That game will tip off around 3 o'clock. We'll start coverage at 2:50. Also, the Lady Cougars playing on the road tomorrow against Grace. That game will have the audio for you on WNZR.TV, and they'll be here at home for their senior day on Saturday against Spring Arbor as well. But the Cougars, again, tough schedule all throughout the year. They've weathered it extremely well. This is probably the toughest conference that we've seen the Cougars play in several years. Definitely the best that the conference has been since the Cougars joined it, when you talk about the MCC or the Crossroads League. And when you talk about at the top right now, you've got 4 ranked teams. 9 of the 10 teams in the conference have either been ranked or receiving votes at some point in the season. So for the Cougars to go from where they've been the last couple of years and not making the tournament, coming in 7th and 8th place in the conference, and then to turn around like this and be on the verge of hosting a conference playoff game. They won't be able to do that this year, but they were awfully close to it, and they have a chance to finish in that 5 seed and really make an impression on this conference. That's been extremely deep this year.
Yeah, it's crazy. You talk about it. Lots of teams in this conference, 4 that are ranked, 1 receiving votes. Marion actually behind the Cougars right now in the conference rankings, but they are also receiving votes, so that just shows the strength of this conference from top to bottom. And that Spring Arbor game this weekend, Spring Arbor down towards the bottom of the league, in the league in the record sense, but they could be a very dangerous matchup with the Cougars going on this weekend.
So something to watch out for down the stretch for MVNU. I want to thank our 2014-2015 basketball partners, Blue Bob Body and Frame, CES Credit Union, Cosby Heating and Cooling, GR Smith Hardware, Home Instead Senior Care, Knox Community Hospital, Mohican Sports Medicine and Rehab, Ohio Rental, Valley ATV, and Wendy's of Mount Vernon, all of whom had a hand in making tonight's broadcast possible. We'll take one more break. We'll be right back with the starting lineups and the opening tip-off of Cougar basketball here on 90.9 FM, WNZR.
The Cougar Basketball pregame show on WNZR has been brought to you in part by
Valley ATV,
Ohio Rental,
GR Smith Hardware,
Home Instead Senior Care,
Fredericktown Chevrolet, Blue Ball Body and Frame,
CES Credit Union.
Knox Community Hospital, Cosby Heating and Cooling, Mohican Sports Medicine and Rehab,
And Wendy's of Mount Vernon.
Stay tuned for all the live action on the voice of the Cougars, 90.9 FM, WNZR.
WNZR thanks Fredericktown Chevrolet for supporting our coverage of Cougar sports. Fredericktown Chevrolet is located at 109 Bollinger Drive in Fredericktown. They have new Chevrolet cars and trucks, Ready, and GM certified used cars and trucks. Fredericktown Chevrolet is a GM certified service, parts, and collision center. Their phone number is 694-6015 and their website is freddychevy.com. WNZR thanks Fredericktown Chevrolet for supporting the Cougars on 90.9 FM, WNZR.
WNZR thanks G.R. Smith Hardware for supporting our coverage of Cougar sports.
G.R. Smith Hardware is located at 101 South Mulberry Street in Mount Vernon. G.R. Smith carries lawn and garden equipment and paint supplies. Their services include window screen repair and key duplication. They are open from 8 to 6 Monday through Friday and 8 to 5 on Saturdays. Their website is grsmith.doitbest.com.
WNZR thanks G.R. Smith Hardware for supporting the Cougars on 90.9 FM, WNZR.
It's time for Mount Vernon Nazarene University basketball on the voice of the Cougars, 90.9 FM WNZR. Cougar basketball is made possible in part by support from
Mohican Sports Medicine and Rehab,
Ohio Rental, Home Instead Senior Care,
G.R. Smith Hardware, Cosby Heating and Cooling,
CES Credit Union,
Knox Community Hospital, Valley ATV, Fredericktown Chevrolet, Blue Ball Body and Frame,
and Wendy's of Mount Vernon.
Now let's join the WNZR broadcast team on the voice of the Cougars, 90.9 FM WNZR.
And welcome back to Ariel Arena. We are all set for the starting lineups and the opening tip of Cougar basketball here from Ariel Arena, taking on the Grace College Lancers here tonight. Let's get you the starting lineup first with the Lancers of Grace College. Starting at guard for the Lancers will be a 6-foot junior from South Whitley, Indiana, number 4, Logan Irwin. At guard, a 6-foot senior from Aurora, Colorado, number 22, Nico Reed. At the forward position, a 5'7" junior from Markle, Indiana, number 24, Kyle Philman. At guard, a 6'1" junior from Mishawaka, Indiana, number 32, Brandon Vanderhagen. And at the center position, a 6'11" senior from Kingston, Jamaica, number 34, Dennis Williams. Jim Kessler, in his 38th season at the helm of the Grace College Lancers, is, of course, here tonight. And now for the Cougars of Mount Vernon Nazarene University, playing on their home floor here this evening. Starting in the center will be a 6'8" sophomore from Madison, Virginia, number 0, Patrick Lucas. Starting at guard will be a 6'3" sophomore from Dublin, Ohio, number 21, Josh Asheville. Also at guard, a 6'1" senior from Uniontown, Ohio, number 15, the senior Trey Vaughn. And our other seniors, the starting point guard, 6'3" senior from Euclid, Ohio, number 1, Martell Medley. And, of course, the 6'6" senior forward from Westerville, Ohio, number 42, Brian Reddick, will be starting on the floor this evening for the Cougars, who are under their first season with head coach Jared Renee, who, again, has taken this program to new heights, something we have not seen since joining the Crossroads League. So certainly excited for senior night here tonight, and the Cougars looking to impress the fans here one last time this evening.
It'll be interesting to see how Coach Renee handles this, the end of his first season down coming here, see if he can get his players up and ready for this game here as they play a very tough opponent, Grace, again, ranked 22nd in the nation. They do, as you mentioned, a great job on the defensive end. They are number 5 in the country in three-point field goal percentage on the defensive end, and then number 8 in total rebounds in the defense per game. So what you're going to do as the Cougars, what Coach Renee has liked to do here in his first season is they like to get out and run and try to get those fast break points. But if you don't have that, you don't need to force something. If you're Martell, you're running the break and you don't have the numbers, you don't want to try to go in on this Grace team and try to take a contested shot, because they are great at rebounding the ball and great at keeping you from getting the bucket and making the shots very difficult even if they don't block them. So what you want to do is kind of take it slow, take it deep into the shot clock, work the ball, and get a high percentage shot, something that you're comfortable with.
So we'll see what the Cougars are able to do. Again, nerves being a big part of tonight, and the consistency against this tough Grace team. See what the Cougars have to offer. Brian Reddick will be taking the opening tip here tonight, presumably against the big senior from Kingston, Jamaica, Dennis Williams, who played somewhat limited minutes the last time these two teams faced off. Again, Williams standing listed at 6'11" in the post, so big height advantage over Brian Reddick.
Reddick's going to need to get up quickly to go get this ball.
Referees in the center circle. Ball is up, and it'll be controlled by MVNU. Cougars will be scoring left to right, Grace right to left in reference to our view here across from the scores table. Josh Asheville handling now for the Cougars. Moves into the lane, stops, turns, kicks out top for Brian Reddick. Reddick looking over to the left side, now back to his right for Martell Medley. Medley out to Josh Asheville on the right side, goes down low for Lucas. Lucas trying to work inside against Williams, turns, little shot, will be a little bit short, rebound by Williams, and now setting up the play will be Logan Irwin.
And Lucas just thrown off a little bit from the height there of Williams.
Irwin facing off with Martell Medley. Looking to get up to the arc, bounces it down inside. Gets the ball to Kyle Philman. Philman down low. Williams trying to work in against Lucas. Goes in, puts a shoulder down. Can't get a shot to go. Rebound, though, by Philman. He goes back up, and they're going to say he's fouled. We'll see who they get this on. Reddick and Asheville were in the vicinity, and it's going to go on Brian Reddick. Not a good sign for the Cougars early as he picks up a quick foul.
A hard foul for Reddick to take right there. He was so close to getting that ball, just going after that loose ball there. But great defense down there by Pat on the post, being able to stay straight up and down and making the shot difficult for Williams.
And they're going to say that Reddick got Philman on a putback, so he'll have 2 free throws. He gets the Lancers on the board first with the one. The second one coming here. And he will go 2 for 2. Irwin on the season, 75.5% free throw shooter. Not too shabby. Now here's Asheville. It's a screen from Lucas at the top of the arc. Moves down inside, kicks back out to Reddick up top. Reddick over to the left for Martell Medley. Medley waiting for a screen. Moves, now looks to drive inside. Kicks out to Asheville in the corner. Asheville driving baseline. Kicks out to Lucas, and now up top for Medley. Medley fakes the deep three. Now looks to drive inside, and they'll say he's fouled. Well, contact foul coming. Should be against number 32, Brandon Vanderhagen.
And just an arm check there from Vanderhagen as Martell is driving by him, just trying to slow him down a little bit.
So now Asheville inbounding from the baseline here. Reddick looking to drive here. Goes inside against Philman, puts one up off the glass, and he gets the Cougars' first points of the night on a nice drive right there and a good finish.
A good left-handed finish there from Reddick, using his body to help get that one up off the glass and in.
Now here's Irwin over on the right side. Hand this one off up top to Nico Reed. Reed back over now to Vanderhagen on the sideline. Vanderhagen out to Irwin, and now we've got a screen. Looks like an offensive foul away from the ball.
A moving screen's going to go right there.
It's going to be called against Dennis Williams, so the big man picks one up. 18.5 left to go. Score tied at 2 apiece. Here's Reddick with it. Over to Medley. Medley working from the left side. Kicks into the corner for Asheville. Asheville facing off here with Vanderhagen. Goes up top for Medley. Lob pass down inside for Lucas. Kicks out to Asheville. Asheville going inside. Scoop up with the right hand. Off the glass and in. Cougars take the lead 4-2.
And a good job right there. Asheville not intimidated by the size of Williams underneath. Able to just float the layup right over top of his outstretched arms.
His athleticism allows him to do so much against much bigger defenders, as we saw right there. Now here's Irwin on the outside. He's going to pass it out and out down inside. Here's Fillmore trying to work against Reddick. Goes up off the glass. Can't get a shot to go. Medley comes in with the rebound. Has it knocked out of his hands by Williams, but he goes out of bounds and back to MVNU.
And you notice Brian Reddick on defense right there on the post, immediately getting straight up and down. He does not want to pick up a second quick foul because he had to sit down for probably the rest of this half.
Something you don't want to see tonight is the MVNU seniors having to spend significant time on the bench with foul trouble. Now here's Asheville moving inside, goes up off the glass and in again. Asheville with another nice move.
And Asheville is pumped up right here. He's starting to feel it as a full court press now starting to pick up.
Vaughn will be defending Vanderhagen, who's bringing it up the floor for Grace. Vanderhagen looking to drive, stopped by Vaughn, kicks back out to Irwin. Irwin over to Reed, and Reed out into the corner to Philman. Philman tries to lob one down low, and now they're going to call a foul on Lucas for a hold, it looks like.
I'm not sure about that. That was just a high pass. Lucas trying to do everything he can with his body underneath to keep Williams out of there.
I'm not even sure Lucas could see that the ball was in the air. Williams was trying to get position down there, and Lucas was just standing behind him. And now we've got an offensive foul, illegal screen.
Possibly a makeup call right there.
And it looks to be going on Nico Reed.
And Grace just being a little bit too eager to get into their offense there. The screener's got to stay still until he gets the contact. As Lucas will sit down, bringing Jordy Moss into the game for the first time.
Moss had a great game on Saturday, went for a double-double against Bethel. Now Martell Medley called for the double dribble, and he's not happy with the call. He thought that what they're calling his initial dribble was him trying to gather the ball in, and that's why he put it back on the floor right there, but a mental mistake. Turnover by the Cougars, gives it back to Grace here. Vanderhagen will be working against Vaughn all the way up the floor. Passes one up to Irwin. Irwin out on the right wing. Moves up top. Stops now, looks to drive. Runs into Reddick. Goes up with the left hand. Can't get a shot to go. Moss knocks down the rebound. Medley picks it up, and now the Cougars are in the fast break. 3-on-2. Medley goes all the way to the rim and banks it in with the floater.
You got to stop ball on the fast break. No one stepped in front of Martell Medley. He just went straight to the basket.
Great take by Martell, going coast to coast right now. And now Coach Kessler wants a timeout. That's got the fans fired up. The Cougars leading 8-2 early on here when we come back on 90.9 FM WNZR.
WNZR thanks Home Instead Senior Care for supporting our coverage of Cougar sports. Home Instead Senior Care is located at 400 West High Street in Mount Vernon, and their phone number is 393-2500. They provide non-medical services for seniors, including meal preparation, light housekeeping, personal care, and specialized dementia care. Caregivers are insured, bonded, and trained. WNZR thanks Home Instead Senior Care for supporting the Cougars on 90.9 FM WNZR.
This is Julian Henderson. Keep it locked right here for more Cougar basketball on 90.9 FM WNZR.
Coming out of the timeout, Vanderhagen will handle for Grace College. They trail 8-2. 16:40 left on the clock here in the first half. Here's Irwin up top with it. Passes over to the left side. Vanderhagen looking to drive, and now he's going to take a soft contact foul from Trey Vaughn. He's not happy with himself after drawing that one.
And Vaughn just kept his hand on his hip right there. Got to get those hands up out of there.
Eric Roby will check into the game for Vaughn. Roby, who usually starts.
Roby, an excellent rebounder.
So pretty good outside shooter when he gets the chance. Here's Irwin. He'll bounce one down to Vanderhagen in the corner, moving out, passes back up top to Irwin. Irwin now looking to drive, got a little separation from Martell, runs into Jordy Moss, can't get his shot to go. Rebound pulled in. Brian Reddick looked like he had a hold of it, but Jordy Moss is the one who comes out of the scrum with it. Now Medley looking to push it back down the floor. Roby spinning into contact, kicks out to Reddick, to Moss, who fakes the shot, now goes down inside for Martell, who goes into the glass, and goaltending going to be called on Williams. Doesn't matter, the bucket went in anyway. But Williams right there touched it after it came off the glass on the layup.
And that was just beautiful ball movement all around right there for the Cougars. Starting with a great pass to Martell and was moving the ball around Jordy with the fake up top to find Martell underneath. It was all very well done.
That's one thing the Cougars have done a great job of this year is picking their shots. You saw there were a couple players who had a couple of decent looks at the basket, but they kept passing around until they found the best look, as now Williams gets it down low, going up against the big man Moss. Having a little more trouble than he was against Patrick Lucas. Misses the little hook shot. Jordy with the rebound, and the Cougars up 10-2 and pushing it back the other way.
Cougars doing a great job on post defense, just going straight up and down, giving Williams a headache.
Now here's Reddick out on the corner. We'll pass up top to Medley, over to Asheville. Asheville to the top of the arc for Roby, now over to the right for Reddick. Reddick being defended by Philman, bounces it down low for Jordy. Jordy feels up Williams and then goes up with a little hook shot.
Great soft touch right there from the big man, flipping that one up and in.
Cougars on a 12-0 run here after Grace scored the opening points of the game. Still yet to score a field goal, as their 2 points came off free throws from Philman in the first minute.
And all 12 points for the Cougars have come in the paint.
And now Medley's going to be whistled for a soft foul on Irwin, a little reach in right there.
And the refs are calling that. You got to keep your hands up and out of there.
That'll take us to the first media timeout. Cougars up by 10 with 15-14 left in the first half when we come back on 90.9 FM WNZR.
WNZR thanks Knox Community Hospital for their partnership in this broadcast of Cougar Sports. The Center for Rehab and Wellness at Knox Community Hospital treats sports injuries. The center has a state-of-the-art facility and licensed therapist with backgrounds in exercise physiology and sports medicine. Athletes participate in personal interactive training exercises and prevention education. Knox Community Hospital, in the community for the community. WNZR thanks Knox Community Hospital for supporting the Cougars on WNZR.
WNZR thanks Mohican Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation for supporting our coverage of Cougar sports. Mohican Sports Medicine and Rehab is located at 112 Harcourt Road in Mount Vernon, and their phone number is 392-8811. They offer physical therapy and rehab for work-related and auto accident injuries. They also have occupational and speech therapists and certified athletic trainers. WNZR thanks Mohican Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation for their partnership.
Hi, this is Isaiah McQueen. You listen to the home of Cougar basketball, 90.9 FM WNZR.
The Cougars out to a hot start here against Grace College, leading 12-2, less than 5 minutes into the first period of play here. Drew Shaltry and Josh Sturm with you this evening as the Cougars celebrating their senior night, the last home game of the season for the MVNU men's basketball squad. Irwin will inbound here. We'll also see Joey Schmitz check into the game for Martell Medley over the break. Out on the Left side, pass down low to Williams. Williams goes up with the hook shot, can't get it to go, gets his own rebound. Again, this one will fall through on the second attempt for Williams.
And great initial defense there from Jordy. Just an unfortunate bounce that went right back to Williams. He was able to put it back in.
Reddick back in the game for the Cougars here. Moss going down low, little turn with the left hand. He couldn't quite finish right there. Had a great look. Made a nice move on Williams, but couldn't quite get the roll he wanted. Now Irwin looking to move inside against Reddick. Stops, hands it back out to Nico Reed. Reed sliding, looking to go back into the corner. Turns, passes back out to Irwin. Irwin calling for a screen. Reddick manages to fight through. Irwin's going to try a shot. Looked like Reddick might have gotten a block on it. It's thrown back in bounds. Reddick will catch the ball, and now he's going to push it up the floor. 3-on-2 for the Cougars. Runs up ahead, gives to Roby, and Roby's able to bank it back in.
Great job by Roby, just going strong right there. Looking like he might have taken some contact, but just going through it and getting the layup.
So now here's Logan Irwin again out away from the arc. Reddick defending here with Martell on the bench. And pass up top for Reed. Reed over to the left side and looking to drive. Right there was Vanderhagen, but he's going to get the benefit of a foul. Joey Schmitz called for that hot stove rule again, keeping his hand on Vanderhagen. That's the second time we've seen that called against a Cougar guard. Trey Vaughn was whistled for it earlier.
And Martell a little bit before that as well.
And Martell checks back into the game now for Schmitz. As Irwin will bounce this one in to Chad Hoffer, who is in the game for the Lancers. Out to Vanderhagen now. Vanderhagen looking to drive against Asheville. Asheville with a good stop. Vanderhagen nowhere to go with the ball. Passes back out to Irwin. Irwin over to Vanderhagen again. 20 on the shot clock. Vanderhagen driving inside. Eric Roby takes a swipe at it. Pass out. Is tipped away by Medley. Medley taking it coast to coast. And he's able to lay it up and in.
Great job by Medley sticking with that right there. Almost lost control, but able to regain himself and finish with a nice layup.
Great start so far by the Cougars, doing a good job in transition as well. Now Hoffer passes one down inside for Williams. Little fake trying to get away from Moss. Moss with great defense, forces him away from the basket, but he makes a nice hook shot as he fades away from Moss right there. That one from about 8 feet out.
And you'll take that for the Cougars. Moss doing all he could right there to play defense, keeping his arms straight up in the air.
Williams with 4 of the Lancers' 6 points. All of their points from the field here tonight. Now here's Asheville looking to work his way out of the corner against Vanderhagen. Passes up top for Roby, over to Medley. Medley moving to the top, kicks back over to Reddick. Reddick driving inside, stops, slings one over to Roby. Baseline jumper is up a little bit long. No good. Asheville comes in, though, is able to tip himself an offensive rebound. He'll kick out to Medley. Deadeye 3 is on the way, a little bit off the mark, and the ball will go out of bounds. Asheville unable to save this one. Like he may have knocked his knee against the water cooler on the far side there. As we'll see Lucas check into the game for Jordy Moss. Joey Schmitz also going to check in for Brian Reddick. So now Schmitz facing off with Irwin as Irwin walks this one up the floor. And off to Vanderhagen. Vanderhagen looking to drive against Asheville here. Goes inside, little scoop shot up and good. Tough shot right there by Vanderhagen, who made a nice drive to the basket. Now Medley down low for Lucas. Kicks it out for Schmitz. 3-ball up and a little bit long this time. Vanderhagen with the rebound, and Gray's looking to close the gap a little bit more. They trail by 8 here. Irwin moving down the floor quickly, steps back, thinks about the 3, kicks back out instead to Vanderhagen. Vanderhagen will hand off to Hoffer. Hoffer off of the screen, moves down inside, has the shot blocked away by Martell Medley. Asheville with the rebound. Now here comes Medley. Goes into contact at the other end, can't finish the shot. And we've got a push underneath the basket, though. Looks like it's going against Williams as Lucas was soaring in for the rebound. And now Williams, it looks like, may be heading to the bench.
I'll have to sit down with those 2 fouls now. That's a great job.
Come out of the game for Eric Bowen, who surrenders quite a bit of size here. 6'6" forward from Kokomo, Indiana. It's the difference between 6'6" and 6'11". Big advantage for the Cougars. Now Roby on the baseline, tries the jumper right off the catch, won't get it to go. Cougars still leading by 8 here with 12 minutes to go as Irwin pushes it right up the floor, goes into Roby and is able to bank one in. Nice take right there by Logan Irwin.
It's a good drive, just using some of his own players to kind of set some screens as everyone was moving back down the floor.
Asheville out into the corner to Schmitz. Schmitz, 3-ball is up, this time a little bit short. Nice rebound by Bowen, boxing out Lucas. And walking back to the floor is Irwin.
Cougars starting to fall in love with some more jump shots. They got to go back to what was working for them early and getting in the paint.
Kick out here to Hoffer. Now to Irwin. Irwin off his screen is going to try a dart 3. Just a flat shot. Now Coach Renee wants a timeout as his team suddenly only up by 6. We'll be right back with more of the Cougar basketball game against Grace College here on 90.9 FM WNZR.
WNZR thanks Ohio Rental for supporting our coverage of Cougar sports. Jay and Angel Manners, owners of Ohio Rental, are pleased to be a part of making Christian programming possible for Knox County. Ohio Rental is a full-service store offering rentals and sales of tools and equipment from bulldozers to popcorn machines. They're located on Columbus Road in Mount Vernon, and their phone number is 397-2783. The staff of Ohio Rental joined WNZR's passion to build stronger families and support the need for families to spend more time together.
This is Isaiah McQueen. Listen to us all season long, home and away on the Voice of the Cougars, 90.9 FM, WNZR.
16-13 the score here in Ariel Arena. Cougars able to jump out to an early lead, but Grace fighting their way back in. Now Vaughn, who's back in the game, passes out of the corner to Brian Reddick. Now here's Medley out on the left wing, passes up top for Vaughn and over to Reddick again. Reddick on the right side for Asheville. Looks to drive inside, kicks out to Reddick. Reddick's going to take the three. They'll say his foot was on the line. No go either way. Vanderhagen with the rebound. And now here comes Irwin looking to give his team a chance to tie or move within one. Hoffer out top to Bowen. Bowen now over to number 23, Caleb Featherston, who's in the game for the first time. Good three-point shooter, as the Cougars saw last time these two teams played. Hoffer takes right to the basket and is able to bank in the floater.
And Grace starting to do a very good job off of the drive, able to get past the Cougar defenders and get some nice layups.
Now Asheville looking to drive, kicks out to Vaughn in the corner. Three ball is on the way and good. And just when the Cougars had started to lose some momentum, Trey Vaughn with the big three on senior night puts them back on top by 4.
Let's see if that can energize Cougars here and stop this run from Grace.
Irwin passes up top to Hoffer. Hoffer's going to take the deep two, and it's in. Right there.
Coming off that make on a layup, sometimes getting those short shots can get you feeling good, and you can start hitting the long ones.
Martel Medley right there had great defense on him, hand right in the face. Now Vaughn looking to drive, kicks out to Medley. Medley back up top for Vaughn, and now out to Reddick on the right side. Reddick being defended by Hoffer, looking for someone to go with this basketball. Little stutter step move, moves inside, stop, little fadeaway jumper is up and good. Brian Reddick with a nice take.
A nice job there by Reddick, knowing who was guarding him and that he wasn't going to be able to get up in the air and cover Reddick, just taking the time in the air to make a nice little soft shot.
Now here's Vanderhagen over on the left. He'll pass into the corner for Hoffer. Hoffer step over off the screen. He's going to try a three. It's no good. Rebound by Lucas. Lucas out to Asheville. Asheville pushing this one up the floor quickly. Looks to run into the Grace defense. He'll curl back around and pass out to Medley. Medley over to Vaughn, over to Reddick on the left side. Reddick being defended by Hoffer. Cross-court pass to Medley. He tries the three ball. This one comes off the back iron. High rebound by Hoffer, and he'll give to Irwin to walk up the floor.
I don't know why the Cougars are not going into the post to Pat. He's got a good matchup underneath.
See Jordy Moss about to check in. They really want to work the size advantage down low. Here's Irwin. Throws it down low for Bowen, who got around Medley, but couldn't get a shot to go. Ball tipped down. It'll be caught by Hoffer. Hoffer now looking to drive in against Lucas. Goes up into the air, and he'll be fouled.
Yeah, it looked like Pat had good position, but
Hoffer heading to the line, shooting 64% on the season, and that's the 6th on the Cougars. So the next one will put Grace in the bonus. Something to watch here. We're still at 9 minutes left in the first half. Hoffer's first free throw is no good. See Jordy Moss check in for Patrick Lucas. Expect the Cougars to go down low now with him back in the game.
Now Jordy with a pretty distinct size advantage underneath, and he hit that nice turnaround shot earlier in the game, and the Cougars did a great job earlier in the game, and from the post, they really need to get back to that.
Bowen knocks down the second free throw. It's a three-point game here, 21-18. Reddick now over to the right side for Vaughn. Vaughn moving in, kicks out to Medley. Vaughn pass down inside for Jordy. Jordy trying to work against Bowen. Goes inside, little hook shot, won't go. Tips a rebound out, but it'll be caught by Featherston. And Featherston will push it back the other way. Bowen doing a good job of holding his own down there in the post. Irwin spot up three at the other end, just clips the bottom of the rim. Medley up ahead now to Reddick. Reddick looking to go inside against Irwin. Stops, tries a high bank shot, can't get it to go. Rebound by Grace. And now Irwin once again bringing it back the other way.
That's not a great shot there from Reddick. Needs to take the time, let the Cougars come down and set up their offense next time.
You see Coach Renee on the sideline right there, kind of signaling settle. As now Irwin looks to drive here off a screen. Out to Bowen, deep two is up, in and out, no good. Jordy able to tip a rebound to Trey Vaughn, and the Cougars once again looking to push. They've got numbers. Here's Medley out on the outside, fakes the shot, steps inside against Irwin, spins, kicks out Reddick. Deadeye three is up, and it is no good. Jordy tips up another rebound, caught by Hoffer this time. And now coming back the other way with it is Irwin. Irwin up top to Bowen, over to Hoffer. Hoffer bounces this one to Featherston. And Featherston will give it up top and over to Irwin. Irwin looking to drive on Asheville, goes inside and is going to be fouled as he knocks in the shot.
The foul's going to go on Jordy right there, trying to come over and just give a little bit of help on defense.
And that'll take us into the second media timeout and one coming for Logan Irwin when we come back on 90.9 FM WNZR.
WNZR thanks Valley ATV for their partnership in this broadcast of Cougar Sports.
They are located on Jelloway Road, north of Danville, just off Route 3. Their website is valleyatv.com. Valley ATV has a service department and carries parts and accessories. Their phone number is 599-7977. WNZR thanks Valley ATV for supporting the Cougars on 90.9 FM WNZR.
WNZR thanks Wendy's of Mount Vernon for supporting our coverage of Cougar Sports.
Wendy's has 2 locations in Mount Vernon, Coshocton Road and South Main Street. Wendy's menu features single, double, and triple burgers, the Baconator, plus chicken, wraps, and nuggets. Wendy's also carries the kids menu with sides of fries and sliced apples.
WNZR thanks Wendy's of Mount Vernon for supporting Cougar Sports on 90.9 FM WNZR.
Hey, this is Jared Ronay. You're listening to the voice of the Cougars, 90.9 FM WNZR.
21-20, Cougars with the 1-point lead here, and Logan Irwin with a chance to tie it up from the free throw line following the foul by Jordy Moss just a moment ago before that media timeout. Drew Sheltry and Josh Sturm with you here this evening. The Cougars battling with the Lancers, a couple of middle teams in the Crossroads League, currently sitting at the 4th and 6th place spots in the conference. MVNU could jump up though as high as 5, which would potentially have them playing Grace College in the first round of the Crossroads League tournament. Irwin knocks in the free throw that ties the game up at 21. So after the Cougars jumped out to an early lead, now Grace has battled their way back into this one, tied up at 21.
And a lot of that is because Cougars are starting to take some jump shots. They have 18 of their 21 points in the paint, and all those came very early. That 1-3 ball from Trayvon is the only jump shot that has gone in for the Cougars.
They've not had a lot of success from outside. Jordy now gives this one to Medley, who has an open lane to the basket. Double clutch, can't finish the shot. Now coming back with it is Hoffer. Hoffer up ahead to Featherston. Featherston passes cross court. Corner 3 is up and no good from Nico Reed, and now we've got a foul underneath the basket. It's going to go against Grace.
That's going to go on Featherston.
You see checking into the game here, Adrian McCauley, 7'1" center from Germany. So bring in another European to try and fight Jordy down low.
That's taking away the size advantage Cougars had for a little while there.
Reddick is going to try the contested jump shot. He gets a friendly bounce, and that'll drop through. That puts the Cougars back on top by 2.
And that will be there for Reddick as long as he wants it. He's a distinct size advantage over Chad Hoffer, who's trying to guard him.
There's Hoffer at the other end. You see him being defended by Medley. Now Featherston looking to drive inside against Roby. Throws one up off the glass and in.
A crazy shot right there, kind of hooking it over him as Roby made that a difficult one to go in.
Now here's Schmitz out on the right wing. He'll pass up top for Roby over to Medley. Medley spinning in, kicks out to Reddick in the corner. Doesn't want the shot. Throws up top for Roby over to Schmitz. Schmitz working from the right side, passes up top for Reddick. Reddick goes down low now for Moss. Moss trying to work inside against McCauley, skips it out to Medley. It goes off of his foot. Reddick diving on top of it, manages to get it out to Moss. Moss out to Roby, over to Schmitz. Schmitz driving on the baseline, 7 seconds on the shot clock, goes high off the glass, can't get it to go, but Moss is there with the tip in, and the Cougars go on top by 3.
A great job by Moss, able to get to the front of the rim right there with a nice, easy little tip in. Moss has a lot of touch for a big guy.
I apologize. Cougars up by 2 here. As now, here's Hoffer with it out on the right wing. Looking to drive inside against Reddick, goes up against Moss. Can't get his shot to go, comes off the rim, gets the rebound though, misses again. And now on the tip out, Reddick trying to save it inbounds, but put a foot down in the blue and is unable to keep the play alive. Philman is going to check back into the game. Pretty good player for Grace College.
There's a lot of Cougars down there on the defensive glass trying to get rebounds, but they're all very up close to the basket. These medium rebounds have been coming off the rim hard and going back to some Grace players for some second chances here. You saw Chad Hoffer right there getting a second chance at a shot.
Reddick's going to come out of the game for Eric Roby here. As now we'll see Schmitz defending Vanderhagen, kicks over to Featherston. Featherston waiting on a screen from McCauley. Steps over to his right, hands off. Nico Reed's going to try the jumper. It's no good. Rebound by Medley, and he's going to push it back up the floor. Running all the way through the Grace defense. Little Euro step, but can't finish the lay-in with the left hand. But then coming in for the rebound, Philman couldn't stay in bounds. And the ball will stay at this end with MVNU.
That was a great job by Medley right there, accelerating through the Grace defense. As no one stepping in front of him coming down the court. That time just moving a little bit too fast, couldn't finish the layup.
Logan Irwin will check back into the game. Now inbound pass goes to Schmidt. Schmidt's turnaround is going to have the ball stripped away on. That'll result in a jump ball going back to Grace College. So they come back to the other end with a chance to tie or take the lead here on this possession. Irwin now walking it up the floor. Medley will defend at the half court. Pass over to the left side. There's Reed trying to work it against Ashwell. Kick out to Vanderhagen. Vanderhagen runs into Schmitz, kicks back out to Reed. Reed tries to go back over to Vanderhagen, but has the pass blocked away by Ashwell.
Again, a lot of people not ready for Ashwell's athleticism and ability to get up in the air.
Here's Reed again. Passes over to the left side. Irwin working his way up top with it. Kicks back over. Reed is going to try a shot with 6 on the shot clock. No good. Schmitz tips out the rebound. Cougars pushing a 3-on-2. Reed is going to be called for the foul there as he tried to stop Schmitz on the run.
Just try to cut off Schmitz. Schmitz was losing control of the ball a little bit right there, but able to keep enough control.
Roby will check out of the game for Brian Reddick.
That's a 6-team foul on Grace, so next foul for them will be bonus for the Cougars.
Now here's Medley working out the inbounds pass from Schmitz over the right side for Reddick. Back up top for Medley, who fakes the shot, now looks to drive inside, stops, turns, kicks out to Schmitz. Schmitz down low now for Moss. Moss trying to work in against McCauley, kicks out to Ashwell, fakes the shot, he spins inside, kicks out to Medley. Medley step back, 3 ball is on the way, a little bit hard, rebound by Ashwell, kicks out to Reddick. Reddick into the corner for Schmitz. Schmitz not going to take the shot with Featherston in his face, waits for a screen from Reddick, moves up top, now lob pass down inside for Moss. Moss trying to back down McCauley, turnaround little hook shot is good, gets a friendly bounce. Really soft touch on that one from Jordy Moss.
And again, you mentioned it, the touch right there from Jordy, able to get that one off the back of the rim and able to get to go down.
So now here's Philman out top. He's going to pass over to Irwin on the right side. Irwin waiting for the screen from Philman. Looks to step in, kicks over to Vanderhagen. Vanderhagen skip pass down low. Philman working in against Reddick, goes up against Moss, splits the defenders, is able to bank one in.
Good job by Philman there, just keeping his pivot foot and moving around as Reddick was trying to guess when the shot was going to go up. He's able to wiggle himself free and get an easy layup.
So much athleticism from a tall player makes him tough to defend. Now here's Moss down low again. A little turnaround and one as he knocks down the fadeaway.
Great job by Jordy right there. Spun into a double team, but able to fade away and get that shot to go in.
Jordy Moss has quickly become a fan favorite this year here in Ariel Arena. The fans absolutely love him every time he's having a good game. You know, he really feeds off the momentum, and the fans, they love to cheer for him, especially when he makes plays like that. Here he is at the free throw line, and he knocks down the and one. You see the Cougars only putting 1 player on the blocks. He's one of the best free throw shooters on the Cougar roster. Irwin almost losing the ball, has to pass out. He'll give it to Vanderhagen here.
And the Cougars press tonight has been very soft, just trying to slow down Grace just a little bit.
Featherston running into the lane will be fouled here. We'll see who they call this one on. He ran into Ashwell, who surrendered a little bit of ground, and that's who they'll get the whistle on. Ashwell picking up his first.
Not sure about that call right there. There was some body contact, like it was initiated by Featherston.
Yeah. He'll be at the line, though, shooting a 1-and-1.
Generally, the Cougars today have done a great job just going straight up in the air and playing great defense and making the shots difficult for Grace.
And Featherston knocks down the first shot. And he will get the second on a friendly roll. So 30-27 now our score with 3.5 left to play in the first half. Asheville running point now for the Cougars. It's a screen from Moss. Now steps inside. He's going to be blocked down by McCauley. And right there, they're going to say the ball is staying with MVNU.
Ashwell went diving to try to save it, but
he gets up a little bit slowly, but looks like he will stay in the game. Very tough player. You see a lot of plays like that where he ends up on the floor. It takes a lot of contact, but he doesn't come out for hardly anything in a basketball game. Now here's Moss. He'll pass over to Reddick this is Medley. Medley will set up the play. Passes back to the left side for Ashwell. Lob pass down his side for Moss. Moss turns on the baseline, skips out to Reddick, out to Schmitz. Schmitz fakes the shot, now drives inside, scoops it out to Medley. Medley fakes the shot, now he's going to back it up. Tries to pass into the corner to Schmitz. Ball going out of bounds, going to be knocked down And onto the baseline by Philman, so it'll stay with MVNU here. Philman almost able to get over Schmitz and save that one in bounds.
Only 8 seconds on the shot clock here for the Cougars, so don't have to get something immediately, but you got to have that on your mind.
Do have to operate quickly if they're going to try to run a play here. Asheville still looking for something to throw in. Throws one in deep to Schmitz. That's exactly what Grace wanted. Now here's Schmitz coming back up the floor, moves over to the right side, stops, pulls up for 3, and it's good. Joey Schmitz with Featherston right in his face, able to knock down the 3 right there when the Cougars needed it to save the shot clock. They go up on top, 33-27. Now Philman hands off to Featherston. Featherston looking to drive here against Asheville, steps back, kicks back over to Philman. Philman up top for Irwin. And Irwin will pass over now to Vanderhagen. Vanderhagen off a screen, kicks back over to Featherston.
Asheville playing tight defense up on the arc.
Featherston back out into the half court for Irwin. 8 seconds. He's going to take a step inside the three-point line. Tries a deep jumper. It's no good. Asheville tips the rebound to Moss. Now here's Medley coming back the other way. Mishandles the pass, gets it back. Now looks to drive inside. Steps in and will pass it back over to Moss. Moss fakes the baseline jumper. Turns in against McCauley. Goes up with a little floater and can't get it to go. Rebound caught by Featherston, and now here comes Irwin.
McCauley was ready for that one from Jordy on the sideline there.
Now here's Philman down on the baseline working against Reddick. Turns into Moss, tries to scoop it off to McCauley. Moss able to knock it away though. He kicks it out to Featherston, now out to Irwin, and Grace will reset. Here's Vanderhagen looking to drive against Asheville. Goes behind the back into the lane, turns, goes up with the shot high off the glass. No good. McCauley with the rebound, and he's able to just lay one in over Moss.
And Cougars are looking to help on defense right there, not looking to get the rebound. And it went strong right to McCauley.
McCauley, to his credit, was able to make a nice play with it right there. 4-point lead for MVNU. 1.5 minutes left to go, and Coach Renee will take a timeout. Drawing up the play for his Cougars with 30 on the shot clock. When we come back, Cougars lead on 90.9 FM, WNZR.
WNZR thanks Blue Bob Body and Frame for supporting our coverage of Cougar sports. Blue Bob Body and Frame is located at 48 West Parrott Street in Mount Vernon. Blue Bob's services include auto body work, auto mechanics, towing, and sandblasting. Their phone number is 397-2615, and their website is blueboz.com. WNZR thanks Blue Bob Body and Frame for supporting the Cougars here on 90.9 FM, WNZR.
This is Isaiah McQueen. Keep it locked right here for more Cougar basketball on 90.9 FM, WNZR.
33-29, the Cougars with the early lead here. 1.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Joey Schmitz will inbound for the Cougars as Troy Williams checks into the game for Jordy Moss, trying to get the big man a bit of a break before halftime here. Asheville gives this one up top for Reddick. Marchant Medley's going to try the left wing 3, and it's good. Smooth stroke right there by the senior point guard.
And Martell just spotting up, and he wanted it the whole way. He stepped right into it. The defender was not there to get a hand in his face.
And he recognized the time he had. The motion was so controlled right there. That one looked good from start to finish. Now here's Vanderhagen out on the outside, passes over to Irwin. Irwin steps in, tries a shot from the free throw line. It's no good. And the ball will be knocked out of Bowen's hands and out of bounds. He came up with the rebound, but looked like Reddick came in there and knocked it away from him.
Good job by Reddick right there. Knocked that one out of bounds.
Irwin goes quick with the pass to Vanderhagen. Can't get a little jumper to go. They had what they wanted. Schmitz wasn't aware of what was happening, and Vanderhagen got the shot off cleanly but couldn't get it to fall. Now Medley tries a deep 2, and Monotone Medley maybe starting to feel as he knocks down a good shot.
And that's what happens when you get in rhythm. You have a nice three-pointer where he was able to get his stroke going and then just coming right down the floor. He knew he was feeling it, just taking the shot right away.
Now at the other end, here's Philman trying to work in against Reddick. Turns, tries to go over his right shoulder, loses the basketball. He's able to track it down though and passes back out to Irwin.
10-second difference in a shot and game clock right now.
Irwin steps inside and now tries to work against Troy Williams with great defense. Rebound, though, comes to Irwin, and he's going to be fouled as he tried to go back up with it. So he'll have 2 free throws.
You know, that was just unfortunate for the Cougars right there, as that live ball was able to be pulled up by the Cougar, or by Grace there. They're doing some great defense down the post again, just going straight up and down, making shots very difficult for Grace.
And they've been on the wrong end of a couple of breaks on these rebounds here as Irwin knocks down the first free throw, a bit of an unconventional shot.
Taking kind of a jump shot from halfway between the three-point line and the free throw line, not all the way up in the free throw line there.
On the season, he's only shooting 60%, but maybe something that's been working for him lately.
Cougars have 14.8 seconds left.
And Irwin goes 2 for 2, so that makes it a 7-point game. Cougars have a chance to make it as much as 10. as Martel Medley walks this one up the floor. 9 seconds, moves over to his left. Stops, gets a screen from Reddick, steps inside, drives in, stopped by Irwin, looks to kick out, gets it to Schmitz. Schmitz on the baseline, tries the jumper, looked like it may have been touched on the way up by Vanderhagen, and that's how we will end the half. 38-31, Cougars going to the halftime with a 7-point lead. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the halftime show here on the home of the Cougars, 90.9 FM, WNZR.
WNZR thanks CES Credit Union for their partnership in this broadcast of Cougar Sports. CES Credit Union is a not-for-profit cooperative serving Knox, Licking, and Delaware counties with a full range of personal financial services. They have offices in Mount Vernon, Delaware, Utica, and Loudonville. CES Credit Union has member services that include savings, checking, and loans. Their phone number is 397-1136, and their website is cescu.com. CES Credit Union, member NCUA, equal opportunity lender.
WNZR thanks Cosby Heating and Cooling for supporting our coverage of Cougar sports. Cosby Heating and Cooling offers installation and service for heating and cooling needs, including residential, commercial, and industrial. Cosby is located at 10 College Street in Mount Vernon, just off Route 3. Cosby Heating and Cooling, 393-4328. That's 393-HEAT. Cosby Heating and Cooling, Ohio license ID number 21057. WNZR thanks Paul and Barb Eddy for supporting the Cougars on 90.9 FM WNZR.
And welcome back to Ariel Arena. Cougars with the lead at the half, 38-31. And Josh, we saw early on the Cougars able to jump out to an early lead, working the ball down in the paint. Grace made some adjustments, forced the Cougars to take some outside shots. And then the Cougars, though, at the end of the half were able to hold Grace down and go into halftime with a pretty decent lead here. 7 points at the halftime. Doing a pretty good job so far as from an efficiency standpoint in this game.
Yeah, Cougars did a great job early on, as you mentioned. They went down to the post early, went on that 12-0 run to start off the game. Grace was unable to hit anything from the field. We knew that wasn't going to keep up for very long. Grace ended up finding their stroke here, and it's been a battle ever since. The Cougars started to fall in love with the jump shot right there. I still think they have it in the post pretty much whenever they want it. They've been able to have a matchup, whether it be Brian Reddick down low, Jordy Moss, Pat Lucas. Everyone seems to at some point be able to have someone they can take down in the post, and that's been working for them. They have 24 points in the paint so far in this game. They've been able to knock down a few key threes as well here towards the end of the half.
The Cougars had a bit of an advantage when Dennis Williams was taken to the bench with 2 fouls, but they brought in McCauley for a bit of a size matchup, and that held Jordy Moss down just a little bit more. But he did pretty well in the first half. He's got 9 points. 4 of 7 shooting from the field, and also 1 of 1 from the free throw line. So Jordy having a pretty good game here, just about on pace for another double-double as he's got 4 rebounds as well. So pretty good game so far from the freshman. Martel Medley leading the way in scoring, 5 of 11 from the field. He missed a couple of outside shots around the middle of the first half, but doing a pretty good job on the whole, especially running the point for the Cougars. He also has 4 rebounds, so looking for that double-double here tonight. Other seniors on the floor. Trayvon had that big 3 in the corner, and then Brian Reddick has also tacked on 6 for the Cougars. So pretty good night so far for that senior class.
And Brian Reddick's had a good night doing some mid-range jump shots here, taking Chad Hoffer, who's been guarding him most of the time, able to body him down into the post area and able to get some nice touch off the backboard shots there from that middle block area. Now, Jordy, as you mentioned, had done a great job in the post. He's shown a lot of touch going over the tall defenders. He's not used to playing against a couple of defenders in Williams and in Mikolai down there in the post, and Jordy but doing a great job floating over top of people. He doesn't like to go off the glass very much. You'll see him just go straight into the basket. Unusual for a big guy, but he does it pretty well.
Yeah, Jordy, again, you talk about the touch that he has. That's kind of a natural gift that he's got. He's kind of worked on that hook shot a little bit this year, mostly with the positioning, but came into the program with a pretty good feel for the ball. And so something that the Cougars have definitely been able to utilize this season when you get him in the game. He's been coming off the bench for the last couple of games, but I think it's actually been better for him. He started for the better part of this year, but then Patrick Luke is taking over that starting role and still performing about what he was coming off the bench. But Jordy Moss able to come off the bench, provide a little more energy to the Cougars, and he's getting plenty of minutes still, but I think playing a little bit better since he's been not in that starting role for the Cougars. Maybe a little bit of the pressure off, not being relied on to do as much, and so he's coming out and having some of these big performances that we've seen in the back half of the season.
And another great job the Cougars have done today. I've just been really impressed with their ability underneath the basket, playing great defense. We saw Reddick pick up that foul early on in the first minute of the game, but ever since then, the Cougars have done a great job using their bodies, staying strong, and keeping those hands straight up in the air no matter whether or not they're taking contact, and that's really difficult to do. When you're getting contact down in your lower body, to be able to keep your arms straight up in the air is very difficult. They've done a great job. Unfortunately, however, when you're doing that, it's kind of hard to turn around and get those rebounds. And we've seen Grace able to pull down 8 offensive rebounds, get 9 second chance points here in the first half, just on some loose balls the Cougars weren't able to get. And hopefully the Cougars can kind of cut down on that here in the second half, rebound the ball a little better on their defensive end.
Like you said, 8 offensive rebounds for Grace. Pretty rare against the Cougars, who are a pretty efficient rebounding team, especially at the defensive end. But look for them to do a little bit better job boxing out in the second half. But we talked about it a little bit in the first half. Some of these rebounds, they're just catching a bad break. You're seeing Cougars crash the boards, but some of these mid-range rebounds are coming out away from the basket, and that's what's hurting them on that end. But they're doing a great job when they do get the rebound of pushing it back the other way in transition as well. We've seen several times where the Cougars are able to go straight off the rebound and get numbers on Grace, running out 3-on-2, 2-on-1, and providing them some good opportunities. They haven't been able to capitalize on all of them, but they have gotten several points off of those opportunities this evening.
Something that's great about this Cougar team of Martell, Brian, Joey, Ashwell, all those guys, they have great court vision when they're coming down the court. In those fast break opportunities, when you have those 3-on-2s, you have to be able to look off a defender and make a nice pass. We saw Brian at one point make a great no-look pass to Roby for an easy layup. And we saw multiple times even Martell, knowing he is one of the fastest players on the court, and no Grace defender stepping out in front of him on that fast break, he will just take the ball straight to the basket. And he has some really fancy, nice moves he's able to make as well when he gets down there close to the basket to get some layups.
When you allow the Cougars to get out and run, it plays right into their hands. It's one of the strengths of this team. It's one thing that Coach Renee has wanted the team to do all year, is play fast on offense. And so when they get a fast break opportunity like that, that's exactly what they're going to go for. And they love to take it down the floor with multiple players. They're so good at that pass, and whether it's taking inside with Martell or a spot up 3 from Joey Schmitz, they always have multiple looks when they get down to that other end of the floor. It doesn't have to be a fast break layup. It can be, a 3-point play for the Cougars more often than not, almost, as so many times we've seen them come down to the other end, whether it's Eric Roby or Joey Schmitz. If they've got 3 players, one of them's going to float to the wings on the outside, and they're ready for that shot. And so often they're able to knock it down in transition, which has been a big part of their offense this season.
Yeah, they're great on the kick out, as you mentioned, but I feel like from watching the first half, Coach Renee noticed that they feel like they have a substantial mismatch underneath the basket, because everything the Cougars have done has been driving at the basket, passing it into the post, and trying to get the ball down there into the paint to get some buckets.
We've got a a 3-shot contest going on here, sponsored by MVNU Student Government Association. Zebediah, who used to be one of the managers for the basketball team, actually just making his first 3 shots to win the prize here. So a little bit of fun at halftime here of Senior Day here on the home of the Cougars. We'll be right back with more of the halftime show here on 90.9 FM, WNZR.
WNZR thanks Fredericktown Chevrolet for supporting our coverage of Cougar sports. Fredericktown Chevrolet is located at 109 Bollinger Drive in Fredericktown. They have new Chevrolet cars and trucks, Ready Ready, and GM certified used cars and trucks. Fredericktown Chevrolet is a GM certified service, parts, and collision center. Their phone number is 694-6015, and their website is freddychevy.com. WNZR thanks Fredericktown Chevrolet for supporting the Cougars on 90.9 FM, WNZR.
And here's a look at your weather forecast for tonight. Scattered snow showers mainly between 9 and 1 a.m. Cloudy with a low around 7 and wind chill values at -3. Tomorrow, a chance of snow showers mainly afternoon. Cloudy with a high near 12 and wind chill values at -11. Tomorrow night, a chance of snow showers. Cloudy with a low around -1. Wind chill at -20. On Thursday, a chance of snow flurries. Mostly cloudy and cold, though, with a high near 6. 7:47 and 17 degrees here in Mount Vernon. You're listening to Cougar Basketball on WNZR. WNZR thanks G.R. Smith Hardware for their partnership in this broadcast of Cougar Sports.
G.R. Smith Hardware is located at 101 South Mulberry Street in Mount Vernon.
G.R. Smith Hardware carries hand and power tools, electrical and plumbing products, housewares, and small appliances.
They are open from 8 to 6 Monday through Friday and 8 to 5 on Saturdays. Their website is grsmith.doitbest.com.
WNZR thanks G.R. Smith Hardware for supporting the Cougars on 90.9 FM WNZR.
And welcome back to Ariel Arena. 38-31 Cougars with the lead here at halftime on senior night, doing a good job so far of putting their seniors in a position to win their last home game this evening. We'll run through some superlatives for you right now. Marcel Medley leading all scorers with 11 points. Behind him, Logan Irwin has 10 for Grace. Handful of Grace players with 4 and 2. Chad Hoffer with 5 for the Lancers. And then on the Cougar side of the ball again, Marcel Medley has that 11. Jordy Moss with 9 to go with 4 rebounds. And then Brian Reddick so far with 6 this evening. MVNU being out-rebounded 22-20. That partially because of the 8 offensive rebounds for Grace College. Each team with 14 defensive rebounds. At the half, Cougars shooting so far 44.7% from the field, not too shabby. Grace shooting exactly 1/3, 33.3% on their shots. Only 20% from beyond the arc. Cougars 30% from beyond the arc. Not taking too many threes, but hitting a couple of them. We saw Marcel Medley and Trey Vaughn with some big shots earlier in that first half. The Cougars do have only 1 turnover in the first half. That coming by way of the double dribble on Marcel Medley, which was a bit of a mental lapse more than anything at the beginning of the game. Grace so far with only 3. So both of these teams playing pretty efficiently. Grace has 5 assists, Mount Vernon with 8, which you can attribute to their great ball movement, great efficiency here tonight.
And Cougars have done a great job, even just only forcing 3 turnovers. They've scored 4 points off those turnovers. They were able to get good shots on almost all 3 of those turnovers right there. And that's something that they really like to live off of. They get those turnovers, they get running. You've seen them even on defensive rebounds. They'll get out and they'll get running. They'll beat teams back down the court because they're just ready to explode with those guards up top. And they've just done a great job all around here. We saw Pat Lucas have to go to the bench early with 2 personal fouls, but besides him, no Cougars really in foul trouble. Good job by Brian Reddick the whole half after picking up 1 in the first minute, not fouling for the rest of the half. So no Cougars really in foul trouble. We'll see Dennis Williams come back for Grace as he's set down about halfway through the half right there with his 2 fouls. So he'll be back in, and he's a pretty big game changer for them down on the post. But we saw the Cougars were not afraid of him in the first half there. They were ready to go right at him. Jordy did a great job on the defensive and offensive end, able to play some good defense on him. We saw them get him really frustrated. You get frustrated as an offensive player if you're down the post and a player is playing perfect defense on you down there, those hands straight up in the air, making shots very difficult. You can get frustrated very quickly, and when you get frustrated, the shots get farther and farther away from the basket.
And we'll see what adjustments Grace has to make here in the second half. 24 of MVNU's 38 points coming in the paint in the first half, so they'll look to get back to that. But again, Grace being able to bring Williams back in the game will certainly help them on the defensive end in that regard. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with the rest of the halftime show here on the home of the Cougars, 90.9 FM, WNZR.
WNZR thanks Home Instead Senior Care for supporting our coverage of Cougar sports. Home Instead Senior Care is located at 400 West High Street in Mount Vernon, and their phone number is 393-2500. They provide non-medical services for seniors, including meal preparation, light housekeeping, personal care, and specialized dementia care. Caregivers are insured, bonded, and trained. WNZR thanks Home Instead Senior Care for supporting the Cougars on 90.9 FM, WNZR.
WNZR thanks Knox Community Hospital for their partnership in this broadcast of Cougar Sports. The Center for Rehab and Wellness at Knox Community Hospital treats sports injuries. The center has a state-of-the-art facility and licensed therapists with backgrounds in exercise physiology and sports medicine. Athletes participate in personal interactive training exercises and prevention education. Knox Community Hospital, in the community for the community. WNZR thanks Knox Community Hospital for supporting the Cougars on WNZR.
And welcome back to Ariel Arena. Drew Shaltry down on the floor right now with head coach Jared Renee. Drew?
And welcome back to Ariel Arena, down on the floor with Cougars head coach Jared Renee. Coach, your team's up 7 at the half. What is it that you're doing that's got the Lancers behind you right now?
Well, you know, we did a great job early on of really defending them, keeping their ball handlers out of the lane and doing a great job on their big guy, not letting him catch deep inside the post. But we got to do a better job of rebounding the basketball. And later in the half, we let Irwin and Reed get their feet in the paint a little bit more than I would like, and we got to do a better job in the next 20 minutes.
All right, Coach. We know Grace as well. Coach, they're going to make their adjustments. What does your team have to do to finish off the win here tonight?
We got to rebound the basketball. It comes down to rebounding. They are crashing really hard, and we got to keep them off the glass.
All right, well, thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half. We'll take another quick break, and we'll be right back with the second half of Cougar basketball here on 90.9 FM, WNZR.
WNZR thanks Mohican Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation for their partnership in this broadcast of Cougar Sports. Mohican Sports Medicine and Rehab is located at 112 Harcourt Road in Mount Vernon, and their phone number is 392-8811. They offer physical therapy for individuals of all ages, orthopedic and neurological rehab, and sports injury rehab. WNZR thanks Mohican Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation for their partnership.
WNZR thanks Ohio Rental for supporting our coverage of Cougar sports. Jay and Angel Manners, owners of Ohio Rental, are pleased to be a part of making Christian programming possible for Knox County. Ohio Rental is a full-service store offering rentals and sales of tools and equipment from bulldozers to popcorn machines. They're located on Columbus Road in Mount Vernon, and their phone number is 397-2783. The staff of Ohio Rental joined WNZR's passion to build stronger families and support the need for families to spend more time together.
And welcome back to Ariel Arena. 38-31 the score. The Cougars leading here at the half. I want to take a moment to thank WNZR's 2014-2015 basketball partners, Blue Bob Body and Frame, CES Credit Union, Cosby Heating and Cooling, GR Smith Hardware, Home Instead Senior Care, Knox Community Hospital, Mohican Sports Medicine and Rehab, Ohio Rental, Valley ATV, and Wendy's of Mount Vernon, all of whom had a hand in making tonight's broadcast possible. Now as we head back onto the floor, the Cougars will start with the opening possession by way of a jump ball during that first half. Dennis Williams coming back onto the floor. Original starting lineups on for both teams, minus Trey Vaughn, sub in Eric Roby. Cougars now scoring right to left. Here's Reddick up at the top of the arc on the pass from Asheville. Medley moving out of the left side, stops at the free throw line, kicks out to Reddick. Reddick fakes left, goes right, stops, turns around, little jumper will be short. Looks like Williams may have gotten a piece of that one. Coming back the other way with it now is Irwin. Into the corner, open three from Vanderhagen. Got a good screen on the other side of the floor. And the ball going almost out of bounds. Martel Medley able to save it, though. And now the Cougars have a 5-on-3 if they can push it. Down low to Reddick. Reddick goes inside. Little shot is up and good right there. Almost had the dunk, but Philman coming off just to cut him off enough.
And a good job at Reddick not going for the dunk right there. Just playing it safe, getting the layup, and having a good sidestep to the basket there.
You know, he's looking for one tonight, though, on senior night. Here's Nico Reed out being defended by Asheville. Throws down onto the baseline for Williams. Williams trying to work in against Lucas. Stops, turns over his right shoulder, and was able to make the tough shot and get the foul. So he'll be going to the line for the end one.
And Lucas just got a little bit off his mark right there and gave the baseline right there. And then he tried to cover and get back and pick up the foul.
Now here's Reed at the free throw line. Misses the and one, rebound by Roby. Now the Cougars coming back. It's Asheville handling for MVNU. Medley now on the left side, driving in. Got a little bit of space on Irwin. Is able to take the baseline and lay in a nice shot. 42-33. Cougars up by 9.
Great drive there by Martel, knowing that he's got the speed to just take that one right to the basket, get up in the air, and get the nice layup.
Now here's Irwin on the outside, being defended by Reddick. Passes up top to Philman. You see the switch the Cougars have made. They're putting Reddick on Irwin, even though he's got the size mismatch. They've got Roby out on Philman. Now down low, here's Williams trying to go up and under, and he lays in another shot through contact. We'll see who they get this foul on, but he's doing a good job down in the post. Grace trying to take advantage of him being back in the game, and that one's going to go on Lucas. That's his third.
That's his
Takes him too quick.
I believe they're going to get that one on Lucas. He just had the one down there earlier as well.
So that is my mistake. That is his 4th of the game, so he'll have to sit for some time. Don't expect to see much more of him this game. Jordy Moss checking in as Williams is able to make this free throw.
Lucas was really struggling to keep up with Williams down there on the post.
And now we've got, I think, a scoreboard issue we're getting fixed here. Grace should be down by, I believe, 6 here and there. They've got it fixed. 42-36 is the score here in Ariel Arena. Just a minute and a half into the second half of play. Asheville will pass over to Roby, now over to the left side for Medley. Medley looking to step in, kicks back out to Reddick. Reddick, lob pass down low to Moss. Moss looking to work in against Williams, kicks out to Asheville. Asheville now looking to drive, skips it out to Reddick. Reddick step back, fakes the jumper, now throws down to the baseline again for Moss. Moss spins, and they're going to say he traveled.
Just a mental error right there, preparing for your move. Especially on those spin moves, easy to just shuffle the feet a little bit before you put the ball down. Reddick on that pump fake had his defender up in the air. Surprised he didn't decide to jump up into him and get the foul call.
Now here's Irwin looking to get inside. He'll kick back out to Nico Reed. Reed looking to move in against Asheville. Stop. Kicks back out to Vanderhagen. Vanderhagen over to Irwin. Irwin now trying to go baseline. Runs into Moss. And looked like he just saved that one from going out of bounds right there. Gets the handoff from Philman as he comes back in bounds. Tries the three. It's no good. Loose ball picked up by Roby. Moss bobbling it right there on the rebound. Now here's Medley at the other end. Little step move. Tried to kick it out to Reddick, but it's picked off by Philman. Little give and go between Vanderhagen now and Irwin. And Asheville's able to make a stop with his feet, and he's on the ground in some pain. Looks like he may have turned the ankle. Looked like he stepped on the basketball as it was coming underneath him.
And that's your worst nightmare running down the court right there, have that ball going underneath your feet.
That is absolutely not what the Cougars want. Josh Asheville is such a key part of this team. He plays almost every minute of every game. You'll see him come off the floor for Joey Schmitz right now. He's going to get checked out by Brian Humphreys, the trainer here at MVNU, but certainly a scary moment for the Cougars, especially at the point they're at in the season right now.
And you mentioned earlier how tough he is. He got up looking for his man, trying to figure out who he was going to guard, not looking to come off the court.
And now down low here with it is Williams trying to work in against Moss. Gets a little move. Looked like he may have had a shot blocked by Roby. Ball goes out of bounds and back to MVNU as Philman was unable to save it. Great play there by Roby, but Asheville, unless that's a pretty severe sprain, I assume we'll see coming back into the game. He's got a lot of grit. He will play through quite a bit of discomfort.
We see Grace wanting to go to Williams early in this half, trying to get him going now, and he's been doing well down there early on here, getting around the MVNU big men.
You see the Cougars trying to find ways to help out Jordy Moss, who throws the ball out to Medley. Medley going inside, tries to bounce one down to Roby. Little miscommunication right there as Roby was leaning back, trying to clear space for Medley, and Medley was trying to bounce a pass to him on the baseline.
And that's back-to-back turnovers for Medley right there. He's trying to make some nice passes, just got to settle it down.
Cougars leading by 6 here. Grace able to gain 1 point on them so far out of halftime. Now here's Williams down low, turning to the right and able to get around Moss this time.
Moss has got to do a better job staying right on the back of Williams. He's been able to turn with ease and get right to the basket. Moss has got to move his feet.
Cougars need to either find some help defense or Jordy Moss has to find a way to defend him. Jordy's now going to take the deep two. It's no good. That's not the shot the Cougars want right now. Moss, a pretty decent jump shooter inside of 15 feet, but you don't want him taking shots out on the perimeter. Now here's Vanderhagen looking to drive, gets inside against Moss, goes up with the floater. It's no good. Loose ball, tipped out to Reddick. Reddick slings it up the floor to Medley, who's able to two-step it and lay it in. Great play by the two seniors. Reddick with the great pass and Medley with a good finish.
Great lead pass right on target to Medley right there from Reddick. It had to be perfect. There's a defender trailing Medley.
Now here's Irwin off a screen from Williams. He'll kick it out to Vanderhagen. Vanderhagen gets a screen from Philman. Now kicks out to Nico Reed. Reed off the ball screen, moves up top. Little fadeaway jumper. Deep two is good. He's got the Lancers within 4.
A good rhythm shot right there for Reed.
Now here's Medley looking to get inside. Stops. Kicks out to Roby. Roby over to Reddick on the left. It's a screen from Roby. Now looks to drive. Steps back. Thought about the jumper, but Philman in good position right there. Now here's little Moss with a nice give and go, and Schmitz with the reverse layup. Great play between the two freshmen.
An amazing pass from Moss right there. I was not expecting that at all, as he just flipped it right behind him on the bounce, and Schmitz able to go up with the reverse, take the contact, and get the bucket.
That's one we haven't seen from those two this year. We'll take a quick break. When we come back from the media timeout, Joey Schmitz will be at the line for an and one here on 90.9 FM WNZR.
WNZR thanks Valley ATV for supporting our coverage of Cougar sports.
Valley ATV sells Polaris ATVs, Rangers, and Can-Am ATVs at their store and online. They're located on Jelloway Road north of Danville, just off Route 3. Their website is valleyatv.com. Their phone number is 599-7977. WNZR thanks Valley ATV for supporting the Cougars on 90.9 FM WNZR.
WNZR thanks Wendy's of Mount Vernon for their partnership in this broadcast of Cougar Sports.
Wendy's has 2 locations in Mount Vernon, Coshocton Road and South Main Street. Wendy's menu features 10 different combos, including chicken and wraps, burgers, and garden sensation salads. Wendy's combo sides include fries, baked potatoes, chili, and salads.
Thanks to Wendy's of Mount Vernon for their support of the Cougars on 90.9 FM WNZR.
This is Brian Reddick. You're listening to the home of Cougar basketball, 90.9 FM WNZR.
46-40. Cougars with the lead here, and following the beautiful play between Moss and Schmitz, Joey Schmitz will now be at the line for an and one opportunity following the foul by Nico Reed, which pushed him out of bounds following the beautiful reverse layup. Josh, I'm not sure which part of that play was better, the layup or the no-look pass from Jordy Moss. As Schmitz knocks down the free throw to complete the N1 play. Cougars go back on top by their halftime lead of 7. Now here's Logan Irwin. Face off with Brian Reddick, as we've seen for most of this game so far. Down low now, here's Williams trying to work in against Moss. He's been effective here in the second half. Good defense by Moss this time, though he has to kick out. Now here's Reed with it. Goes back down low for Williams. Williams trying to work it against Moss again. Reddick comes in, knocks the ball away from him. Now here's Irwin out on the corner. He caught the loose ball. Now looks to drive inside against Reddick, and Reddick's going to be called for a foul here. A little hip check.
A little hip check there by Reddick as he was getting drove on. Just trying to slow down Irwin there.
Second foul of the game on Reddick, only third for the Cougars this half. We'll see Martel Medley check back into the game for Eric Roby.
And they're going to switch up assignments now as Reddick will not be on Irwin. Medley will take him.
Switch Reddick back onto Fillmore. You need the height on him. So now here's Irwin on the baseline. It's the ball into Nico Reed. The pass out to Vanderhagen. Vanderhagen out to Irwin, and now looking to the baseline for Williams. Moss doing a good job getting back in position on him. He has to pass back out to Irwin. Comes out now to set a screen. Irwin moving over, takes the baseline, goes up against Medley, and is able to just get one over the rim.
And good job by Irwin there, jumping back in front of the basket there as he drove baseline, using his body to create some space.
Right there, just enough space on the screen to get past Medley. And now has the ball at the other end. Medley down to Reddick. Reddick back out to Medley. Looks to go inside, steps, and can't get his layup to go. Moss, though, with the rebound, little turnaround, can't get it over the rim. Tried to tie up the ball with Fillman, but Fillman's able to turn it away and get it to Irwin. Irwin now looking to step inside, hands off to Nico Reed, who steps in for a good jumper.
Reed, an excellent mid-range shooter right there, especially when he's able to step into it and had no defender in front of him.
4 straight points for Grace, has this back to a 3-point game. Now here's Reddick looking for somewhere to go with the basketball, stepping in on Fillman, kicks into the corner. Schmitz, open three is up and good on the way. You saw right there, Reddick, little stutter step, drew in the double team. That left Schmitz open in the corner.
It's a good job by Schmitz moving to the corner to get away, farther away from his defender, who is only looking at Brian there.
Now here's Fillman looking to drive baseline. Reddick with a good stop and a little scoop pass, no good. 3-on-3 basketball here as Medley steps inside. He's going to take a deep two. It's no good. Ashwell flies in and tips out the rebound. Schmitz catches it out on the wing on the pass from Reddick, but he's well defended. Now kicks out to Moss, over to Reddick, and the Cougars will reset here. And Reddick's going to be fouled now by Vanderhagen, who was trying to get at that basketball.
Good job by Reddick, just taking it at Vanderhagen with the way the refs have been calling this game. Reddick just going at it, getting the foul called.
Good recognition. Brian Reddick, one of the things that here the coach has mentioned about him, extremely high basketball IQ. Great recognition right there of the situation. We'll see Troy Williams check into the game for Jordy Moss. We'll be working on the big man, Nikolai, who's back in the game.
Trying to get Jordy a break while Williams takes a break for the Lancers.
So now Asheville will pass over to Reddick. Reddick working out of the right wing, will pass back out to Schmitz. Schmitz over to Medley. Medley down low for Williams. Williams trying to work in on Nikolai. Skips it down low on the baseline. Schmitz with another reverse layup, and that's a similar play to what we saw a moment ago.
A great cut there by Schmitz. Again, when you see your defender turn his head and look back, Schmitz cutting baseline back door and getting it in. As Schmitz gets a block on the other end, and it goes out of bounds.
Joey Schmitz getting it done on both ends of the floor, and right there, just a great plays on both ends. First of all, let's go back to the pass a moment ago. Troy Williams sandwiched between two defenders, able to wrap it around Nikolai behind him, get it to Schmitz, who's able to finish, and then Schmitz comes running back down at the other end. He's able to go over the top for a nice block. Now Irwin looking to charge in, passes out to Featherston. Featherston, little handoff to Reed. Reed now looking to drive, gets around Schmitz, scoops it down low to Nikolai, and Nikolai's going to be fouled by Reddick, who put a hand on top of him right there.
That's going to be Reddick's third. Interesting to see if he stays in the game here.
Just over 7 minutes elapsed so far in the second half. It looks as though Reddick's going to be staying in, but needs to be careful here. A player that you definitely want in at the end of the game. Also, we mentioned a minute ago that Asheville's back in. Nikolai kind of double clutches on the free throw right there. Looked like he almost lost the ball and then tried to push the free throw through anyway. Now we will see Reddick come out for Eric Roby.
It's a good substitution at this point in the game. You want to save Brian for his senior leadership towards the end of a close game as someone you want on the floor, and Roby coming in for him, a great sub as well.
Nicole makes the second of his two free throws. See Philman head to the bench. Hoffer checking in here. Now here's Roby. Pass over to Medley on the left side. Medley steps inside the arc, kicks over to Roby. Passes up on the baseline jumper, goes inside, can't get his little lay in to go. Asheville can't get the tip, and now pushing it back up the floor. We'll see Nico Reed out to Hoffer on the right wing. He passes up on the three, kicks out to Irwin. Irwin rolling to the top of the arc, kicks over to Hoffer. Hoffer now looking to drive, goes inside, floats one up. It's no good, but fighting through the contact from Medley, who just drew his second foul of the game.
In the transition right there, Troy Williams had to pick up Hoffer. That's a mismatch for Hoffer on the outside, just driving it right at him.
Also had Nikolai on the inside going against Roby. Roby, good height, but not a whole lot of size down low. Hoffer at the free throw line, knocks down the first. Makes it a 6-point game. Again, 64% free throw shooter on the year. We saw him go 1 and 1 earlier. He's now 2 for 3 and make it 3 for 4 as he goes 2 for 2 on that trip.
Free throw shooting could be huge coming down the end of this game.
Cougars have 5 so far here in the second half. Now Asheville throws up top for Roby, over to the left side for Medley. Medley working to the top of the arc, kicks over to Schmitz, and Schmitz will go down low for Williams. Troy Williams looking to drive baseline against McColi. Kicks out to Medley. Medley catch and shoot. 3 is short off the rim. Comes right out to Irwin, who's going to push it up the floor. He's got a 1-on-3. He's going to curl back out and slow this one down. Now looks to go in against Medley. Picks up his dribble and kicks out to Nico Reed.
The Cougars doing a great job getting back in transition right there, not allowing the fast break.
Reed over to Featherston. Back up top to Nico Reed. Reed bounces it back out to Featherston. He gets a screen from McColi. And now looks to go inside. Almost had a shot blocked by Roby, who should be credited with the block there as it didn't go in, but he gets his own rebound, Featherston, and lays it back in.
Good job by Featherston is sticking with his shot right there, knowing it was short.
Back to a 3-point game, and Brian Reddick looking to check back into the game. His defense seemingly much needed right now as he's been the players able to lock down Irwin for most of this game. Asheville trying a crazy shot, can't get it to go, able to save his ball inbounds, though. Kick out to Roby. Roby, spot up 3 is good. Cougars in need of a bucket right there. Eric Roby able to put them back on top by 6.
That's a great cross-court find from Martell with the overhead pass there to get it to Roby as he was open on the wing.
Now here's Featherston at the other end, facing off with Schmitz. To Hoffer now down low for McColi. McColi, air ball. Troy Williams with great defense right there. Pass up ahead to Asheville. Asheville cross-court pass to Schmitz. Schmitz, corner 3 is up off the rim. It's no good. Asheville, though, tips out a rebound. It'll be caught, though, by Featherston.
Asheville giving a lot of effort down there, trying to get rebounds.
Looks like the ankle seems to be all right as we see him jumping around down there. Roby with a block at the other end. Featherston goes down hard. Up ahead, here's Schmitz up against Irwin, and he's able to lay it in.
Good job by Schmitz sticking with it right there, using his body to help shield off Irwin. Irwin just missed that one by a few inches on the block. That timeout's going to be here for Grace.
Coach Kessler needing to regroup his team. They now trail by 8 after closing it up to a tie just a moment ago. We'll be right back as the Cougars lead here on 90.9 FM WNZR.
WNZR thanks Blue Bob Body and Frame for their partnership in this broadcast of Cougar Sports. Blue Bob Body and Frame is located at 48 West Parrott Street in Mount Vernon. Blue Bob's services include radiator repairs and service on semis and motorhomes. They also have a hydraulic shop that works on hydraulic hose and fitting needs. Their phone number is 397-2615 and their website is blueboz.com. WNZR thanks Blue Bob Body and Frame for supporting the Cougars on 90.9 FM WNZR.
WNZR thanks CES Credit Union for their partnership in this broadcast of Cougar Sports. CES Credit Union is a not-for-profit cooperative serving Knox, Licking, and Delaware counties with a full range of personal financial services. They have offices in Mount Vernon, Delaware, Utica, and Loudonville. CES Credit Union has member services that include savings, checking, and loans. Their phone number is 397-1136, and their website is cescu.com. CES Credit Union, member NCUA, equal opportunity lender.
This is Josh Ashwell. Listen to us all season long, home and away on the Voice of the Cougars, 90.9 FM WNZR.
57-49, Cougars back on top here in Ariel Arena, and every time Grace has gotten it close, MVNU's been able to pull back away. Again, they lead by 8 with 10.5 left to play in this ball game.
And just great effort by the Cougars. Asheville, Martell giving the 100% of their effort, gaining some blocks and running up and down the court as well.
Marcel Medley now getting a break. Trey Vaughn is back in the game. Hoffer stepping in on him, puts up a shot over Moss. able to get that one to go.
Tough shot from Hoffer right there to get that one over the outstretched arms of Moss.
He's had a pretty decent night shooting the basketball as Reddick passes over to Schmitz and now back out to Asheville to run point. Asheville at the top of the arc, passes over to Reddick and now over to Vaughn on the right side. Vaughn looking to go back down low to Reddick. Reddick now trying to back down Hoffer. Little give and go to Moss, and Moss is able to go up underneath. You saw Reddick, good recognition right there. He drew the double team. They pulled Moss out away from the basket, which brought Williams down low on Reddick. And Moss with a nice charge to the basket right there, able to get the shot to go.
That's another great cut. We've seen multiple of those from the Cougars tonight.
And now we've got an and one as Williams is able to put one up and in at the other end off the offensive rebound. Foul going on Moss.
And Williams has been a force in this second half here. I think this is going to be his third and one opportunity of the half.
And he's made one of them already. Missed the other, but Jordy just picked up his second foul, so not too big of a deal down there. But Williams has just been, as you said, a force to be reckoned with underneath the basket on the offensive end in this second period. Again, he was so limited in the first half because of foul trouble, but really has just been able to have his way in the second. Now here's Moss, and they're going to call him for a travel as he backs into Williams right there. Williams, smart move, giving him a little bit of space, and he ended up having to take an extra step.
Yeah, Moss was expecting more contact than he got, and sometimes that can be detrimental to you as you expect to get hit. You don't, you put some of your weight into it, and Moss had to shuffle his shoes to get his balance.
So it's a 6-point game here. Vanderhagen will handle for Grace. Asheville will meet him at the half court. Hoffer has the ball tipped away from him, sealed by Schmitz. Pass up ahead from Asheville to Schmitz, and now they're going to slow it down. Here's Medley. The pass up top to Moss and over to Asheville. Out to Schmitz now. Schmitz facing off with Vanderhagen, moves back into the half court on the call from Coach Renee. Now here's Medley, and over to Asheville, into the corner for Schmitz. Tries to go down low to Moss, but a good play by Hoffer, jumping the route and tipping that ball to himself and managing to keep it inbounds.
And Hoffer got switched on the Moss that time and was able to still use his quickness to get the shot.
Irwin goes inside, tries to make a tough shot, and we've got a whistle underneath the basket. Either Moss or Medley is going to be called for the foul here. It looks like it's going on Jordy Moss. That'll be his third of the game. Still just under 9 minutes to go, so tricky situation here for Jordy. Patrick Lucas also on the bench with 4 fouls.
I think you got to leave Jordy in at this point.
Irwin knocks down the free throw. Such an odd shot. Backs about 2 feet away from the free throw line.
It gives him the ability to step into and take a little jump shot there.
And he goes 2 for 2. Not going to question the results on that one. Coach Kessler wants a 30-second timeout. We'll take a break as well. Cougars now up by 4 here on 90.9 FM WNZR.
WNZR thanks Cosby Heating and Cooling for supporting our coverage of Cougar sports. Cosby Heating and Cooling offers installation and service for heating and cooling needs, including residential, commercial, and industrial. Cosby is located at 10 College Street in Mount Vernon, just off Route 3. Cosby Heating and Cooling, 393-4328. That's 393-HEAT. Cosby Heating and Cooling, Ohio license ID number 21057. WNZR thanks Paul and Barb Eddy for supporting the Cougars on 90.9 FM WNZR.
Hi, this is Josh Gonzalez. You listen to the home of Cougar basketball, 90.9 FM WNZR.
59-55, Cougars with the 4-point lead here in Ariel Arena. They have the basketball as well as Josh Asheville will bring this one up the floor. Medley over to Reddick, who's back in the game. Back over to Asheville now. Asheville goes down low onto the baseline for Moss. Kick back out to Asheville. Asheville off a screen. Looks to move inside. Throws up top for Schmitz. Tried the pick and roll with Moss there, but it's well defended. Now Moss gets the ball down low from Reddick. Looking to work in against Williams. Turns over his left shoulder and is able to make a nice little hook shot.
Good job by Jordy getting to the spot he wanted right there.
You see Williams playing him a little bit of space, trying to get him to make that travel again, but Moss playing smart right there. Williams wanted the pass down on the baseline, didn't have it, kicks out to Featherston. Hoffer's going to have his pass tipped away by Schmitz. 3-on-2. Schmitz at the other end is going to have the ball stripped away by Vanderhagen, but he'll also be whistled for the foul. He was trying to throw it back over to Martell Medley right there, but Vanderhagen doing a good job of breaking it up, but being whistled. But Lancers have a few to give. That's only their third of the half.
If you're the Cougars, you got to try to get the ball down low more often, get that foul count up for Grace there.
Be really nice for them to get Williams in foul trouble, which they've not been able to do here in the second half. He's only got 2, which he committed both in the first. Now here's Asheville setting up the play for the Cougars. Gives to Brian Reddick. Reddick stepping in on Hoffer, takes a jumper, and it's up and good.
And if you're going to give Brian Reddick that much space, he is a pretty good mid-range jump shooter. And you're not going to be able to get a hand in his face. He'll knock that down all night.
Reddick, a player who has earned respect on all spaces on the offensive side of the floor. Hoffer going inside. Can't get his layup to go. Rebound's going to be taken down by Williams. He goes inside. Moss able to recover in time to stop the shot. And now the ball goes out of bounds. They'll say it's going back to Grace College.
A lot of live balls tonight that are taking some really weird bounces off the rim and off of some players' hands are just hard to get a hold of.
So Irwin will inbound from the deep corner here. Tries to get it into Vanderhagen. Asheville jumping in front of it and tipping it out of bounds. Right into the Grace bench.
Good job by Asheville staying active there. Nothing easy.
So here's Irwin. Brian Reddick standing right in front of him.
Martell trying to help over on Williams, giving Jordy some help.
Inbounds pass gets to Featherston. He'll hand off back to Irwin. Now Irwin will set up the play for Grace. Kicks out to Vanderhagen, now to Featherston in the corner. Featherston trying to work in against Medley. Throws down low instead, and a little handoff to Hoffer. Williams looks like he may have gotten away with a travel right there, and Hoffer's able to finish, though, on the handoff. That gets Grace back within 6.
Williams might have just gotten that one bailed out right there as he was expecting to get to his shot that he likes, that little turnaround, but Jordy was there to cover it.
So now here's Reddick working down low against Hoffer. Turnaround, unable to get it to go this time as he turned right up against the backboard, but he was fouled by Hoffer underneath.
A great quick spin right there from Brian Reddick to get onto the other side of his defender, who was trying to recover right there, and that's why he gets the foul called.
And as long as that's the defensive matchup that Brian Reddick has, if he can get down low at Hoffer, he should take every single time. Misses the first free throw, though. It comes hard off the iron. We'll get a second attempt right here.
Reddick only shoots at 61% on the year.
Cougars as a whole, not a great free throw shooting team.
So we'll see Philman check in for Hoffer now.
Philman gives you a little more size to defend Reddick with. Also opens up Irwin on the offensive end as Reddick's been defending him, and Reddick's second free throw comes out as well. It's a little in and out there as it came off that front lip.
Those are easy points you're missing out on right there.
And in a close game like this, you need every single one of them. Philman's going to hand off to Vanderhagen. He'll kick out top for Featherston over to Irwin.
Jordy trying to front the post now. A little change up in defense.
Irwin going down low, is able to fight through some contact and banking a tough shot.
Williams did a great job shielding off Jordy from being able to get over and block that shot there.
Asheville goes back up top for Reddick. Now Reddick looking to charge in against Philman. Turns, little jumper off the glass, no good. Moss tips out the shot. Reddick's going to take it back inside, kicks out Medley. 3-ball from the wing is up, a little bit short. Rebound by Irwin this time. And now he will outlet to Vanderhagen.
A good kick out there by Reddick. Medley just a little short in the shot, unable to get under it.
Irwin out top with it, gets a screen from Williams. Kicks back out. And now Irwin on the pass from Vanderhagen. Almost loses it out of bounds, a little behind the back. We're trying to get away from Medley, but great defense by Martell. Now here's Irwin, steps over, gets a great screen from Williams. Can't get the three to go, though, and now we've got a foul underneath the basket. We'll see who this one's going on. It looks like it's going on Philman. And actually, no, they're going to call it on Brian Reddick. That's his fourth of the game. Philman was grabbing onto him underneath the basket.
Philman just fell over trying to grab onto any piece of Brian he could as he was falling down. And somehow it's a foul on Brian.
You see Brian Reddick and Coach Renee both very unhappy with the call. We'll see Eric Roby coming into the game, but 6 minutes to go. Grace still very much within striking distance.
Not to mention Brian Reddick picks up his fourth foul right there.
And now Brian Reddick has to come off the floor. His fourth foul of the game. One of the best defensive players the Cougars have.
It's a big blow.
Eric Roby will have to take his place here. Philman's second free throw is good.
See the difference here might be Grace knocking down their free throws. The Cougars struggling from the line.
It's a 2-point game here. As Asheville will face off with Featherston, gets a screen from Moss, takes inside, dumps it down low to Roby. Roby goes underneath, can't get the lay-in to go, and now Grace is coming back with it with a chance to tie. Irwin walking it up the right sideline here. Pass over to Vanderhagen. Faced up by Asheville. Pass over to Irwin. Irwin back to Vanderhagen. Back out to Irwin. Irwin calling for a screen. Moves over to his left, kicks to Featherston. Featherston stepping inside the arc. Gets a screen, steps back, kicks out to Vanderhagen. Now back out to Irwin again. 10 seconds. Irwin looking to drive baseline. Stopped by Martel Medley. Strips the basketball. Now Joey Schmitz looking to push it back the other way. Cougars 4-on-2. Schmitz to Roby. Roby goes up underneath, high off the glass. Can't get it to go. Schmitz is there with the tip. Can't get it to fall. But he's fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Good job by Schmitz going opposite right there. Roby should have finished that one off at the basket. Got to hit that, but good job by Schmitz getting the rebound.
2 opportunities right there underneath the bucket. And Schmitz was fouled on that last one, but had a good look at the rim right there. Again, our 4-on-2. You'd like to see the Cougars be able to finish that. Usually so good in transition. Schmitz first free throw is up and good.
Schmitz shooting it at 73% on the year.
One of the better free throw shooters on the team. And he goes 2 for 2. Big free throws right there for MVNU. They go back on top by 4. Just over 5 minutes left to play here in the ballgame. Now, here's Irwin, facing off with Martel Medley. Bounce it over to Featherston, and up top now for Philman. Philman being defended by Roby with Reddick off the floor. Looks to step inside, turns, kicks it down low for Williams. And now we're going to have a foul underneath the basket. Looks like they're going to call Moss for a soft one down there.
It's 4 on Moss now.
We'll see Troy Williams check into the basketball game.
These soft fouls underneath the basket are tough for the Cougars trying to play against a very physical player like Williams.
And that's the 9th on MVNU. So next one will put Grace in the double bonus. It's giving them a chance to work their way back into this ball game. Done a pretty decent job from the free throw line here tonight, have the Lancers, as Williams misses his first free throw, though, so he will not earn the back end. Schmitz will give it to Medley, or sorry, Ash will. Ash will walk it back up the floor. Now here's Roby, over to Medley on the left side. Medley stepping back, looking to drive against Irwin. Instead, will pass over to Roby. Back out to Medley up top for Schmitz. Schmitz to Asheville. Asheville out on the right. Kicks out to Roby. Roby, catch and shoot. 3 is on the way and good.
And Roby loves that left wing right there. You saw him. He was ready. The second he caught it, he was shooting it.
He's not been a big factor on the offensive end tonight, but makes a great shot right there. Now, down low, here's Williams trying to work in against Troy Williams, and he's able to bank one in and gets the foul. Huge size mismatch down in the post. Grace trying to take advantage of that one right there. That's the 10th on MVNU. Williams picking up his first of the game.
And you're going to have to help Williams down there on the post against Williams.
Actually, I'm sorry, that's Williams' second, but again, huge size mismatch.
Going to have a guard come down every time the ball goes into the post, start swiping at it.
And Williams able to knock down the and one. He's got 4 and 1 opportunities in just the second half of this game. Still has not committed a third foul. Now here's Medley, out to Schmitz. Schmitz handoff to Asheville. Asheville up top for Roby. Over now to Medley. Medley working out of the left wing, looking to drive. Steps in against Irwin, stops. Will sling it down to the baseline for Williams. Williams tries the jumper. It's no good. It's a little long. Caught by Featherston, and now Irwin will be bringing it back up the floor for Grace.
Like Williams just got a little intimidated right there.
See Reddick and Moss get set to check back in as we're coming down on 3.5 minutes. Featherston stopped by Schmitz on his drive, kicks out to Vanderhagen. Vanderhagen off the screen, gives to Irwin. Irwin out to Hoffer. Hoffer bounces it down low to Williams. Williams trying to work in against Troy. Has the ball stripped away, and now it's down on the ground. Loose ball, and see what the call is here. They're going to say that Coach Kessler got the timeout. Martin Medley diving in for that basketball. Got a hand on it, but they'll say that Coach Kessler got the timeout in time. So we'll take a quick break. Cougars leading by just 4 here on 90.9 FM, WNZR.
WNZR thanks Fredericktown Chevrolet for supporting our coverage of Cougar sports. Fredericktown Chevrolet is located at 109 Bollinger Drive in Fredericktown. They have new Chevrolet cars and trucks, Ready and GM certified used cars and trucks. Fredericktown Chevrolet is a GM certified service, parts, and collision center. Their phone number is 694-6015 and their website is freddychevy.com. WNZR thanks Fredericktown Chevrolet for supporting the Cougars on 90.9 FM, WNZR.
WNZR thanks GR Smith Hardware for supporting our coverage of Cougar sports.
GR Smith Hardware is located at 101 South Mulberry Street in Mount Vernon. GR Smith carries lawn and garden equipment and paint supplies. Their services include window screen repair and key duplication. They are open from 8 to 6 Monday through Friday and 8 to 5 on Saturdays. Their website is grsmith.doitbest.com.
WNZR thanks GR Smith Hardware for supporting the Cougars on 90.9 FM, WNZR.
This is Joey Schmitz. Keep it locked right here for more Cougar basketball on 90.9 FM WNZR.
Grace will have 4 seconds coming out of the timeout here on the shot clock. 68-64. Cougars still with the slim lead over Grace College here. Grace coming in ranked 22nd in the nation here tonight.
Got to play hard defense right here if you're MVNU. Nothing soft. You only need 4 seconds of defense.
Brian Reddick and Jordy Moss back in the game. Contested 3 by Irwin. It's no good. Coming back with it now is Asheville. Cougars need good offensive possessions here. Here's Medley out on the wing. Kick up top for Schmitz. Schmitz hands off to Asheville. And Asheville out to Reddick now. Reddick over to the left side for Medley. Medley waiting for a screen from Moss. Now he moves to his right, cuts into the lane, goes up, puts a floater over Hoffer, and it's in, and he gets fouled.
Great job by Medley getting up in the air right there, showing off his athleticism and getting that one to fall while taking the contact.
Doing a great job right there, and the Cougars did a great job of clearing out space for him. He got a nice lane right to the basket. Hoffer had to step over in front of him in the last second, and Martel Medley doing a great job finishing the floater.
It's always away good from the rim. Whenever Martel can drive into the basket and get up in the air, he's a very dangerous player. He's very athletic. As I think Dennis Williams is going to be taken to the bench now as he's bleeding.
He's got a scuff on the elbow there. It's just going to get patched up quickly, it looks like, as they're trying to rub some blood out of Jordy Moss's jersey. So quick pause for a second. With the Cougars right here, they're up 6. You've got Martel Medley at the line for an and-one opportunity. If he hits this free throw, they're up by 7. Just under 3 minutes to go. You've got a little bit of a precarious situation when it comes to fouls because you've got Jordy Moss and Brian Reddick each with 4, but you need both of them on the floor in the late stretches of this game.
Pat Lucas also with 4. He went out very early in this half, but he's been on the bench. He can come in as well if need be, but we saw Troy's on the bench now. He was struggling with Williams down there on the post. Williams has just been a force to be reckoned with in this half down there.
But an absolute monster. He's got 16 points, most of them coming here in the second half.
And Jordy Moss did a great job figuring out there for a while what Williams wanted to do. He likes going over his left shoulder, getting that turnaround right in the middle of the lane. And Jordy started figuring out, stepping out in front of him, doing a good job. So hopefully Jordy can stay on the floor here and keep covering him. Got to just make sure you are straight up and don't ever be thinking about the block. Just keep those arms straight up in the air.
If you're playing good defense, you'll live with the shots that Williams makes, but just don't give him anything easy. Now Medley at the line, knocks down the and one. 7-point game. That's been the lead for the Cougars, what they've been able to get back out to several times tonight.
And also, if you're Brian and Jordy as well, referees tend to know when players are about to foul the game. They usually don't call those ticky-tack fouls as much as well. So if you're playing good, sound defense, they shouldn't give you a nice foul. As a turnover here.
Hoffer with the travel, looking to charge in right there and just took an extra step, got a little bit ahead of himself. That gives the ball back to MVNU, and you really want to capitalize on this possession if you're the Cougars. You want to take this one inside and get a bucket. Now here's Medley out on the left side.
Been very good in the paint today.
Schmitz hands off to Asheville. Asheville moving to the top of the arc, being hounded by Vanderhagen, passes over to Medley. Medley now being defended by Irwin, looks to drive inside, goes up, little floater again, no good. Can't get his own rebound. Williams coming down with it, and he'll give off to Irwin. Irwin over to Hoffer. Hoffer now looking to drive, runs into Schmitz, puts up a little bank shot, and it's in.
Good job by Hoffer taking that one straight to the basket and able to avoid Schmitz, who at first set up to take a charge just outside the restricted area there.
The MVNU defense with just unable to get set right there. Now Coach Renee wants a timeout at the other end. 2:06 left to play. His team leading by 5 when we return on WNZR.
WNZR thanks Home Instead Senior Care for supporting our coverage of Cougar sports. Home Instead Senior Care is located at 400 West High Street in Mount Vernon, and their phone number is 393-2500. They provide non-medical services for seniors, including meal preparation, light housekeeping, personal care, and specialized dementia care. Caregivers are insured, bonded, and trained. WNZR thanks Home Instead Senior Care for supporting the Cougars on 90.9 FM WNZR.
WNZR thanks Knox Community Hospital for their partnership in this broadcast of Cougar Sports. The Center for Rehab and Wellness at Knox Community Hospital treats sports injuries. The center has a state-of-the-art facility and licensed therapist with backgrounds in exercise physiology and sports medicine. Athletes participate in personal interactive training exercises and prevention education. Knox Community Hospital, in the community for the community. WNZR thanks Knox Community Hospital for supporting the Cougars on WNZR.
Hi, this is Julian Henderson. You're listening to the home of Cougar basketball, 90.9 FM WNZR.
71-66 Cougars leading by 5 here on WNZR. Drew Shaltry, Josh Sturm with you this evening. MVNU trying to hold off for a victory over their second consecutive ranked team here on the schedule.
Be interesting to see what the Cougars come out of the timeout and try to get going here.
Schmitz off a screen from Reddick. We'll give it back over to Medley. Medley handoff to Asheville, and he'll reset the play. Asheville calling it out. Throws up to Reddick. Reddick fakes the handoff to Asheville. Now turns to his left, looks to drive, goes inside against Hoffer, kicks out to Medley. Medley, 5 seconds, drives down the baseline, stops, tries to go up through contact, and is able to make a tough shot.
And a great job right there by Martell getting underneath the basket and is able to fight up through it. He's pumped up right now.
Cougars back on top by 7, minute and a half left to go. Irwin looking to drive baseline, kicks it out into the corner. Asheville with a huge block on Nico Reed, who tried the corner three. Asheville was turned around, turned 180 degrees, threw up that right arm and swatted that one into the Grace bench.
Again, the athleticism of Asheville, surprising defending players, his ability to get up in the air. 2 big momentum plays for the Cougars, see if they can keep it up here.
Irwin's step back jumper is up and good.
And a big shot there from Irwin.
Cuts the lead to 5. MVNU in need of another bucket here. They'll give the ball to Asheville. And if you're going to force Grace to foul, that's who you want them to foul. Best free throw shooter on the team.
He's an 80% free throw shooter on the year. Very good.
Now Schmitz looking to drive here. Curls back. We'll hand off back to Martell Medley. And now Coach Renee wants to use another one of his timeouts. Under a minute to go. Cougars looking to hang on for the win. They lead by 5. We'll be right back on 90.9 FM WNZR.
WNZR thanks Mohican Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation for supporting our coverage of Cougar sports. Mohican Sports Medicine and Rehab is located at 112 Harcourt Road in Mount Vernon, and their phone number is 392-8811. They offer physical therapy and rehab for work-related and auto accident injuries. They also have occupational and speech therapists and certified athletic trainers. WNZR thanks Mohican Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation for their partnership.
WNZR thanks Ohio Rental for supporting our coverage of Cougar sports. Jay and Angel Manners, owners of Ohio Rental, are pleased to be a part of making Christian programming possible for Knox County. Ohio Rental is a full-service store offering rentals and sales of tools and equipment from bulldozers to popcorn machines. They're located on Columbus Road in Mount Vernon, and their phone number is 397-2783. The staff of Ohio Rental joined WNZR's passion to build stronger families and support the need for families to spend more time together.
This is Julian Henderson. Listen to us all season long, home and away on the voice of the Cougars, 90.9 FM WNZR.
73-68, 57 seconds left on the clock. Grace still in the huddle as we come out of the timeout here, but the Cougars will have the basketball. 19 seconds left on the shot clock for MVNU.
If you're the Cougars, you want to use as much of that shot clock as possible. You can't go into the mindset here of trying to protect your league. You still have to be aggressive in this game. 5 points is not that much.
Now here comes Medley. Curls back out, gives to Asheville.
Gotta be smart with the ball here. 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Asheville now looking to drive. Stops, kicks out to Schmitz. Schmitz open for 3. It's on the way. It's a little bit off. Moss unable to get to the rebound. It's going to be tracked down by Vanderhagen. He's able to outlet to Irwin.
Gotta play tough defense, make him take some clock off.
Irwin drives inside. He takes the blocking foul, and it looks like it's going on Brian Reddick. He would foul out of the game and give Logan Irwin a chance for 2, and there it is. Brian Reddick being called for the blocking foul there.
And another soft call on Brian as he looked like he had that one pretty clean, just going right along with him.
Trying to contend one last time with the referee, but he will foul out of the basketball game. Unfortunate, as that's the last time we'll see Brian Reddick on the floor in Ariel Arena. He heads off to a standing ovation from the crowd. Well-deserved. He's played a great game here tonight. He's been the victim of some unfortunate calls. Eric Roby will take his place on the low blocks, but hard to see him come out of the game in a situation like this.
And that was a very tough call right there.
Now here's Irwin at the line, knocks down the first free throw.
Cuts the Cougars lead to 4. This is a big free throw right here. Cut it to a 1-possession game.
Irwin goes 2 for 2. Coach Kessler wants his timeout. We're going to keep it right here. The Cougars on top by just 3 right here. You've got 36 seconds. You've got a 35-second shot clock. The Cougars are going to try to use as much as possible. You think Grace goes for the foul here?
I will expect Grace to foul. If you're going to play it all the way down the end of the shot clock, you're only going to end up with 4 seconds max. if the Cougars don't score, and if they allow the Cougars to score in that time, right at the end of the shot clock, that pretty much ends the game for you. So if you're Grace, you definitely want to foul here, extend this game, especially with the way the Cougars have been shooting free throws here tonight.
And they're going to try to get the ball in, the Cougars will, to either Schmitz or Asheville. That's your two best free throw shooters. They're on the floor. They're also guards, so you've got the best chance of escaping with the basketball. But, I mean, you want to bring those two down, try to get the ball in their hands in case Grace is able to foul right away, send one of those two to the line.
Especially just Asheville has had a great game here. He's feeling it pretty well. And Schmitz just hitting those two free throws not that long ago. You know, those two players are feeling it tonight here as well, on top of being good on the season.
Asheville also a great player in the clutch, as well as being the statistical best free throw shooter on the team. So, see what the Cougars are able to do right here. Again, 30 seconds left, trying to hang on for a win over Grace.
All players on the floor, good free throw shooters. Asheville will actually inbound the ball here. Grace has the full court press going on.
Martel Medley comes back for the basketball.
They'll try to
looks to outlet here. Gets it to Asheville. Asheville going to be fouled by Hoffer. So the Cougars managed to take 5 seconds off, and they get Asheville to the line. Pretty good scenario for MVNU here. It is just a 1-and-1 though, so Asheville has to make the first.
Good job by Martel getting the ball out of that trap there in the backcourt. As Grace was looking to trap, try to force maybe a 10-second call or turnover in the backcourt. So we'll see Dennis Williams check back into the game now. A little offensive for defensive substitution there.
Grace also really wanting that rebound.
It's a 1-and-1 here.
And Asheville's first shot is good.
Big one, making it a 4-point lead, 2-possession game still.
Chance to make it 5 right here with 31 seconds left. And he does. Asheville goes 2 for 2. Big shots
Clutch right
by the sophomore.
Gotta play some strong defense now, make as much time off this clock as possible.
Irwin looking to go inside, runs into Moss. Little scoop shot won't go. Rebound caught by Schmitz. Schmitz holding it down on the baseline. And he's going to be fouled. That's exactly what the Cougars wanted. You get Schmitz down on the baseline. You see him not letting go of that ball. You don't chance turning it over, and you send one of your good free throw shooters to the line.
Dennis Williams, a little bit of frustration, yelling at a few players there.
And now Coach Renee will take one of his timeouts before Schmitz heads to the charity stripe. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Cougars up by 5 with 20 seconds to go here on 90.9 FM, WNZR.
WNZR thanks Valley ATV for their partnership in this broadcast of Cougar Sports.
They are located on Jelloway Road, north of Danville, just off Route 3. Their website is valleyatv.com. Valley ATV has a service department and carries parts and accessories. Their phone number is 599-7977. WNZR thanks Valley ATV for supporting the Cougars on 90.9 FM WNZR.
WNZR thanks Wendy's of Mount Vernon for supporting our coverage of Cougar Sports.
Wendy's has 2 locations in Mount Vernon, Coshocton Road and South Main Street. Wendy's menu features single, double, and triple burgers, the Baconator, plus chicken, wraps, and nuggets. Wendy's also carries a kids menu with sides of fries and sliced apples.
WNZR thanks Wendy's of Mount Vernon for supporting Cougar Sports on 90.9 FM WNZR.
This is Josh Ashwell. Keep it locked right here for more Cougar basketball on 90.9 FM WNZR.
So on the baseline here, Asheville will inbound. Someone to go gets it into Joey Schmitz, and Schmitz will be fouled. Again, trying to send Schmitz to the line. That was my mistake right before the break. That was the 7th foul on Grace, so that will...
This will be the 8th foul on Grace, I believe.
Sorry, the 8th, so it does put Schmitz at the line for a 1-and-1 here.
I think MVNU got a timeout on the rebound there before the break.
And Coach Renee calling for that one. And Schmitz able to hit the first free throw. Huge free throw there, as now you force Grace to take 2 threes.
Trayvon is going to check back into the game here for Jordy Moss.
As now you force them to take the outside shot.
Get a quicker defender on the floor.
Jordy heading out to some good applause. He's played a pretty good game tonight. Had a tough matchup.
Big free throws up and good.
Schmitz 2 for 2, and that's a 7-point game.
That makes it 3 possessions. That's a huge free throw.
Irwin hands off to Nico Reed, who's going to catch and shoot well off the mark. Schmitz manages to rip away the rebound. He's going to push through the double team, and that will do it. 77-70, the Cougars hanging on to win on senior night. Brian Reddick, Martel Medley, and Trayvon going out on top. They win by 7, knock off their second straight ranked opponent here in Ariel Arena. They will play again on Saturday, but before that, we'll have the Cougar postgame show. We'll be right back here with an interview with Coach Renee and our senior Cougars here on 90.9 FM, WNZR, and WNZR.TV.
Nazarene University basketball on WNZR is brought to you in part by
Mohican Sports Medicine and Rehab,
Ohio Rental, Home Instead Senior Care,
G.R. Smith Hardware, Cosby Heating and Cooling,
CES Credit Union,
Knox Community Hospital, Valley ATV,
Wendy's of Mount Vernon,
Fredericktown Chevrolet, Blue Ball Body and Frame. Stay tuned for the postgame show on the voice of the Cougars, 90.9 FM, WNZR.
WNZR thanks Blue Bob Body and Frame for supporting our coverage of Cougar sports. Blue Bob Body and Frame is located at 48 West Parrott Street in Mount Vernon. Blue Bob's services include auto body work, auto mechanics, towing, and sandblasting. Their phone number is 397-2615, and their website is blueboz.com. WNZR thanks Blue Bob Body and Frame for supporting the Cougars here on 90.9 FM, WNZR.
It's time for the Cougar Basketball Postgame Show on WNZR. The postgame show is brought to you in part by
G.R. Smith Hardware,
Home Instead Senior Care, Ohio Rental,
Cosby Heating and Cooling, Mohican Sports Medicine and Rehab, Fredericktown Chevrolet, Blue Ball Body and Frame, Knox Community Hospital,
CES Credit Union,
Valley ATV, and Wendy's.
This is 90.9 FM WNZR.
WNZR thanks CES Credit Union for their partnership in this broadcast of Cougar Sports. CES Credit Union is a not-for-profit cooperative serving Knox, Licking, and Delaware counties with a full range of personal financial services. They have offices in Mount Vernon, Delaware, Utica, and Loudonville. CES Credit Union has member services that include savings, checking, and loans. Their phone number is 397-1136, and their website is cescu.com. CES Credit Union, member NCUA, equal opportunity lender.
And welcome back to Ariel Arena, where the Cougars defeat the Lancers of Grace by a score of 77-70. Leader tonight in scoring, Martell Medley scoring 20 points. Joey Schmitz with 17, Jordy Moss 13, and Brian Reddick, who fouled out late in the game, but still managed to put in 10 points. Now, down on the court, we have Drew Shaltry with the 3 seniors tonight. Drew?
And welcome back to Ariel Arena. The Cougars winning 77-70 here on Senior Day. And Coach, I've got your seniors right over here to my right. Outstanding game they played tonight. What can you say about their effort this evening?
Sure, incredible effort. Well, first off, give a lot of credit to Grace. They're a great team, great program, and they're really, really tough. You know, these guys fought all the way to the end tonight. You know, we preach every single day the defensive end. And they have really, really, really bought into it, and we did another nice job defensively tonight. And I can't be more proud of these 3 guys, you know, coming into their senior year with a new coach, kind of a lot of new things. They've embraced what we're doing, and I can't be prouder of these 3.
All right, Coach, I'm going to come back to you, so don't go anywhere. I'm going to interview each of these guys. I'm going to start with Trey Vaughn. Trey, you joined the team just this year, transferred in from Ohio Christian. What has it meant to you to be with this team for this one good year?
Oh, it's been a real pleasure to be a part of Coach Renee's Rural Cougar culture, and I've learned a lot just being here about being a man, and it's been more than basketball for me.
All right, Trey, well, congrats on a good season, and we'll be back out there Saturday, but any thoughts going into the postseason this year?
We're just taking it one game at a time. Hats off to Grace. They're a great program. We're trying to be like that one day and be contended for a national championship one of these years coming soon. So,
let's bring in Brian Reddick now. And Brian, you've been with the program now for 2 years. You're graduating this spring, but you've had a great run with the Cougars. What's it mean to go out on top like this here at home?
I mean, it feels really good. I know we've had our ups and downs as a program, but, you know, we're really turning that corner, especially this year. And it just feels good to, you know, end things on a good note.
All right, Brian, you fouled out of the game, but played with a lot of effort here tonight. I know you weren't happy with that last call, but about the effort you guys have given this year, talk about what this team's mentality has been as far as the toughness and the grit you guys have played with all season.
It started in the preseason. In the preseason, we were running in the field, doing sprints at 6 a.m. in the cold, and kind of that laid the foundation for the toughness that we were going to have throughout the season.
All right, Brian, well, thank you very much. Congrats on a good season. All right, and Martell Medley, the leading scorer for this Cougar team, had a great game again here tonight. You've kind of been one of the big leaders for this team, both on and off the court. What has it been like to be a part of this Cougar basketball program for the last 2 years?
It's just been a great experience. I got great teammates, and we just go out and play hard every game.
All right, Martell, Spring Arbor coming up on Saturday. What's the word for the fans?
We're going to go in and play hard as we can and try to come out with the victory.
All right, well, thanks very much, guys. Great careers. It's been a pleasure to have you guys as Cougars, and we'll see you Saturday. All right, thanks, guys. And we'll end it here on Coach Renee. And, Coach, you guys getting the win here again on senior night. You head into Spring Arbor on Saturday as the team gets great applause from the fans still here in Ariel Arena. It's been a long season for you guys, but you guys have done a great job turning this program around, having a great year, and now getting to go to the Crossroads League postseason. But you have one more game. What's the mentality going into this final match with Spring Arbor?
The same mentality as we have every single day. You know, we're focused on getting better tomorrow, then really preparing for Spring Arbor, who, you know, Spring Arbor still has a lot to play for. You know, I don't know how they did tonight or other games went, but they're still playing for that 8th spot into the tournament. And they're really good at home. You know, their coach does a tremendous job, and they're really tough defensively. It's going to be a tall task on Saturday.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
We'll take one quick break, and we'll be right back with the rest of the postgame show up in the booth when we come back on 90.9 FM, WNZR.
WNZR thanks Cosby Heating and Cooling for supporting our coverage of Cougar sports. Cosby Heating and Cooling offers installation and service for heating and cooling needs, including residential, commercial, and industrial. Cosby is located at 10 College Street in Mount Vernon, just off Route 3. Cosby Heating and Cooling, 393-4328. That's 393-HEAT. Cosby Heating and Cooling, Ohio license ID number 21057. WNZR thanks Paul and Barb Eddy for supporting the Cougars on 90.9 FM WNZR.
WNZR thanks Fredericktown Chevrolet for supporting our coverage of Cougar sports. Fredericktown Chevrolet is located at 109 Bollinger Drive in Fredericktown. They have new Chevrolet cars and trucks, Ready, and GM certified used cars and trucks. Fredericktown Chevrolet is a GM certified service, parts, and collision center. Their phone number is 694-6015 and their website is freddychevy.com. WNZR thanks Fredericktown Chevrolet for supporting the Cougars on 90.9 FM, WNZR.
And welcome back to Ariel Arena, 77-70, the final score here in Ariel Arena. The Cougars getting the win here on senior night. Tremendous game from everyone who played really tonight for the Cougars. The seniors doing a great job themselves. Martell Medley and Brian Reddick really carrying the team. Trayvon coming up in some big moments with a big shot early in the first half, and then some great defense when his number was called late in the game.
Yeah, it was a really great job all around for the Cougars to stick through it. They had a lot of guys fall into foul trouble trying to cover Dennis Williams in the second half there, who seemed to be unstoppable down the block. But, you know, they just had that next man up mentality, able to go in and just do their best on him down there low, not pick up the fouls. You saw Brian Reddick fouling out, which is unfortunate in his senior night, but they did a great job throughout the whole game. Brian did a great job on the defensive and offensive end.
Just an excellent job of holding on by the Cougars, holding off really, again, a very tough Grace team. When they needed points, they were able to score them on one of the top defenses in the Crossroads League, and they were able to stop a very efficient, very effective offense and really hold them down here tonight. They scored 70 points, but a lot of it down the stretch was kind of trading baskets at the end when MVNU was hitting the shots they needed to hit. They were trying to stay out of foul trouble towards the end with Jordy and Brian, so that, you know, gave Grace a little bit of room. Grace, to their credit, knocked down some great shots, but MVNU just came out on top here tonight playing a great game. And if this is the matchup we see in the first round of the Crossroads League tournament, I don't think anyone's going to be disappointed.
It'll be really interesting to see how that matchup goes, because I feel like the Cougars just really outplayed Grace today. Again, the foul troubles I really thought were going to doom the Cougars here towards the end, but again, just able to stick with it and keep going, doing a great job of keeping their head held high. You know, we talk about the great play from the seniors today as well, but on senior night, it was a freshman. Joey Schmitz was able to come up big here in the second half and really help pull the Cougars through this one. He had some big free throws down here in the end, which those are not easy to do. And when you're a team struggling shooting free throws all together as the game's going on, then in the pressure-packed moments like that with the whole arena falling silent like that, you really start to feel it, and he was able to knock both of them down to extend the lead and keep it going.
And Joey Schmitz, you know, had a great game. He had 17 and 6 on the evening. He was a big part of the transition game tonight. And like you mentioned, the free throws, when the Cougars needed to score the basket most, it was at the charity stripe, and he was able to do that tonight for the Cougars, who get the win here on senior night to go out on top. Just running through some superlatives for you. First for Grace College, leading the way with 20 points, tied for a game high, Logan Irwin. He also had 4 rebounds. Then right behind him, Dennis Williams, who had 16, 12 of those coming in the second half. And then Chad Hoffer finished the night with 13 points and 5 rebounds. Williams, I should mention, was only 2 rebounds shy of a double-double. Then on the Cougar side of the ball, you had 4 Cougars scoring in double digits. Martell Medley had 20 to go along with 6 rebounds. Schmitz had the 17 I mentioned to go with 6 rebounds. Then Brian Reddick had 10 and 5. Jordy Moss 13-4. So a good night all around for MVNU. They go out with a big win, and they'll play Spring Arbor later this week.
And a very interesting statistic that's kind of a show of how this team works and how this game went. Every Cougar player who stepped on the floor tonight had a rebound, and that just goes to show rebounding is very much an effort game. It's just what you put into it is what you get. A lot of players kind of lackadaisical, especially perimeter players, when going to get boards. But tonight the Cougars very energetic and very active on the glass and attacking and getting boards.
Well, that's Coach Renee's system. We hear him say it every single game. The two biggest things for the Cougars, defense and rebounding, and we saw both of those here tonight, doing a great job. The Cougars, again, managing to get the victory over the 22nd ranked Grace College Lancers. 77-70, the final score here tonight. Josh, any final thoughts on this game?
The Cougars have just been playing great basketball here towards the end of the season, just seem to be getting better and better as the games go on. I would be terrified of them if I was a higher seeded team going to the Crossroads League tournament. This is not a team you want to be playing against with how hot they are right now.
And we'll see them have to go on the road for that first round Crossroads League game. But again, the Cougars playing the best basketball that they've played all season here at the right time late in the basketball year. I want to thank our 2014-2015 basketball partners one last time. Blue Ball Body and Frame, CES Credit Union, Cosby Heating and Cooling, GR Smith Hardware, Home Instead Senior Care, Knox Community Hospital, Mohican Sports Medicine and Rehab, Ohio Rental, Valley ATV, and Wendy's of Mount Vernon, all of whom made tonight's broadcast possible. I also want to say a thank you to Cameron Davidson back in the studio, as well as Mariah Powell and Marcy Reinhardt and Wesley Boston, who have been running board for our games here this season on WNZR. I want to thank our entire WNZR.TV crew, Joe Reinhardt, our director and director of broadcasting, Peyton Gessel, who's directing tonight, Emily Blazek running graphics, and then all of our camera people, Josh Pope, Cheney Stewart, Annabelle Harre, and Jessica Wells. We've had a great evening. We've had a great run. Signing off one last time from Ariel Arena, Josh Sturman, Drew Shaltry. Have a great night. Stay safe, and God bless.
This broadcast is a copyrighted presentation of Mount Vernon Nazarene University and WNZR. Any retransmission, rebroadcast, or other use of the descriptions and accounts of this game without the expressed written consent of Mount Vernon Nazarene University and WNZR is strictly prohibited.
The Cougar Basketball Post-Game Show on WNZR has been brought to you in part by
Knox Community Hospital, GR Smith Hardware,
Home Instead Senior Care,
Cosby Heating and Cooling,
Ohio Rental,
Mohican Sports Medicine and Rehab,
CES Credit Union,
Fredericktown Chevrolet, Blue Ball Body and Frame, Valley ATV, and Wendy's.
Thanks for listening to Mount Vernon Nazarene University Basketball on 90.9 FM WNZR.
It can keep you going when your day's going bad. It just picks you up.
It's got a good message. It's uplifting. It's positive. You know, it's something I'm comfortable with.
When I'm in a bad mood, it'll help me.
The Lifeline, WNZR Mount Vernon.
WNZR thanks Esther and Jeff Carpenter for their support of our ministry. The Carpenters are sponsoring this day of broadcasting in honor of their grandson, Drew Eugene Jenkins, who joined Big Brother Bryce just 1 year ago today. Esther and Jeff have a special message for their daughter, Stephanie, and her husband, David. You two are great parents. Bryce and Drew bring tremendous joy into the lives of Esther and Jeff. The WNZR staff has a special birthday message just for Drew.
Happy, happy birthday from the morning thing. Happy